Hey, Pyle, you got a visitor over in the rec room.
A visitor to see me?
Yeah, but don't get too excited. She's the motherly type.
The motherly type? I wonder who that could be. Hey, me!
Hello, Gomer!
Well, ain't this something?
Gomer! For land's sakes, look at you. Why, I wouldn't know you if I saw you on the street right now.
Aw.
It's true. You're a different person. When you left Maybury, you were a frail, scrawny thing. And look at you now. Gomer Pyle, you're actually handsome.
Go on, ain't
Yes,
they?
you are.
Well, you look mighty good yourself. This is just wonderful. Come on over here, let's sit down. What in the world are you doing here?
Well, I'm on my way to Fresno. You remember my little niece, Judy May Olander?
Uh-huh.
Well, she's getting married.
You don't say.
Yes, and a good catch, too. The young fella's a butcher down at the supermarket. You know the kind of money they make. Of course, he's supposed to be a lovely person, too.
Well, ain't that nice?
Of course, at first I wasn't going to go, but Andy just insisted. He said I needed a vacation from my household chores.
Uh-huh.
So I thought I would make it a vacation, and I'd come and see you, too.
Well, I'm sure glad you did. This is just wonderful. But tell me, how's everybody in Mayberry? Andy and Opie and the whole gang?
Just fine. And I've got a lot of pictures. Gomer, would you have a little time? I thought maybe we could go to town, we could have dinner, then have a nice long talk.
Well, I sure would like to, Aunt Bee, but I'm afraid I can't. You see, all the fellers are on pice, and I've got the barracks duty.
Well, maybe I could go with you. We can talk while you do your barracks duties.
Well, I don't suppose there'd be any harm in it. Today's Sunday, and there won't be anybody there. Yeah, I guess you could.
Good. Oh, Gomer, I just can't get over how handsome you are. Well, so this is where you live, hmm?
Yes, ma'am, and this is my bunk right here, and right next to it, my locker.
Is that all the space you have? Gomer, I thought you'd have a room of your own by now.
Oh, no, ma'am. You got to be a lot higher up than me for that.
Oh, well, it's not much privacy, is there?
No, ma'am, but it's friendly. It was hard for me to get used to at first, sharing a bedroom with so many other fellers, but now I just don't think I could sleep in a room by myself anymore.
Well, well, guess people can get used to anything. Bill, now, what duties do you have to do?
Well, I've got to mop the floor and dust the lockers and wash the windows and just generally spruce things up.
Gomer, that's housework.
Yes, ma'am, I guess you could call it that.
You mean you do that all by yourself?
Well, no, ma'am. Usually the fellers do their own, but like I said, they're out on pice, and I didn't have any other plans, so I'm doing it for them.
You mean the boys have to do their own housework, along with all the marching and drilling and things?
Well, yes, ma'am. It's all part of being a Marine.
Well, for land's sakes, how long has this been going on?
About 200 years, I guess.
You think they'd spend a few extra dollars and get you boys a maid?
Oh, Aunt Bee. Listen, you come over here and sit down on the bunk, and we can visit while I mop.
What? Certainly not. You think I'm going to sit there and watch you do housework? I should say not. I'm going to help you.
But, Aunt Bee, you can't do that.
Gomer, don't argue. Get me a jacket or a sweater I can put over this dress, and something for my hair if you can find it, and then give me a mop.
But, Aunt Bee...
Gomer, don't argue. Just do as I say.
You really shouldn't be doing this, Aunt Bee.
You know, I just don't understand it. Millions and millions in taxes. And they won't spend a few extra dollars and have a woman come in and straighten up. Mavis Pearl could come in here on a Thursday and for $8 do the whole place.
I really don't think it's the money, Aunt Bee.
Well, then what is it?
Well, it's just part of being a Marine.
Doing housework is part of being a Marine?
Well, that's the way they figure.
Well, they could make a few changes if you ask me. Have a woman come in just once or twice a week, and you'd see a big difference. Those windows could use some curtains, you know. A few pictures wouldn't hurt either.
Well, some of the fellers have pictures, but they keep them on the insides of their locker.
Oh? Those are not the kind of pictures I meant.
I better get back to my windows.
Gomer, I don't like to criticize, but you're not getting those windows as clean as you should. What are you using there?
Well, just the regular window cleaner that they give us.
Well, what you really need is vinegar.
Vinegar?
With a little water, that's what I use. Wouldn't happen to have any, would you?
No, ma'am. But I suppose I could get some over to mess hall.
Well, why don't you, Gomer? If you're doing it, you might just as well do it right.
Well, really, Aunt Bee, I don't think...
Get it, Gomer. You'll see, it'll make all the difference in the world. Lovely day, hmm?
Yeah.
Oh, careful. You'll track up my floor.
Who are you, madam?
Well, I'm Miss Taylor. Who are you?
Well, I'm Sergeant Carter. Would you answer me one question, please? What are you doing here?
Well, I'm mopping the floor. You could see that.
I don't mean that. I don't mean what are you doing here. I mean, what are you doing here in these barracks?
Oh, I'm visiting.
Visiting? With a mop?
Oh, well, I didn't intend to mop. I'm just helping out my friend, Private First Class Gomer Pyle. Do you know him?
Oh, yeah. So you're a friend of Pyle's, huh?
Yes, a very dear friend. Oh, but see, look, you should have wiped your feet. Look at the marks you've left all over the wet part. You know, it's bad enough to have to do
Madam,
this once.
Miss Taylor. Miss Taylor.
What?
Look, I don't want to seem rude or anything, but you'll really have to leave.
Leave all this work for Gomer, I should say, not.
Look, I'm sorry, but according to regulations...
Aunt Bee, I got it. Oh, hey, Sergeant Carter.
Oh, there you are, Pyle.
Now, that's the way to come into a room.
Yeah. Well, I was just talking to this lady here, Pyle. This civilian lady that you brought into the barracks.
Well, then you met Aunt Bee. That's good, because I've written a lot about you in my letters back home.
Pyle!
Oh, so this is you, Sergeant Carter. Oh, I didn't realize that. You know, I pictured him a little taller.
He's not tall, but he's solid. He's solid as a rock, Aunt Bee.
Madam, Miss Taylor, I'm afraid Private Pyle didn't explain the rules of the base, but civilians are not allowed in the barracks, so I'll have to ask you to leave.
But I came to visit with Gomer.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but regulations are regulations. You can wait for him in the recreation room if you like, although it might be kind of a long wait.
But there's so much left to do. I've barely started on the floor.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that. The recreation room is down at the end of the street and turn left. Oh, and one more thing, madam. You'll have to leave the jacket and cap here.
Oh, yes.
I'll help you, Aunt Bee.
Well, Gomer,
Thank you.
I'll be waiting for you. I hope it won't be too long.
I'll do my very best, Aunt Bee.
Oh, dear, look what you're doing to the floor. Look, you're over there, the clean part.
Goodbye, Miss Taylor. Pyle, you lame brain, you knucklehead. Do you realize how many regulations you've broken here? Well, let me count them off to you. 1, having a civilian in the barracks. 2, having a civilian woman in the barracks. 3, letting a civilian wear a Marine uniform. You've been in the Marines for 3 years, Pyle. When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? What does it take to get through that thick skull of yours? What? Oh, Miss Taylor, did you forget something?
No, but is there any trouble? I heard your voice and it sounded, well, rather angry.
Oh, did it?
Yes, there isn't anything wrong, is there?
Really, it's nothing you need worry about, madam.
Sergeant Carter talks to me a lot like this, Aunt Bee. It's no need for you to worry.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll be waiting for you, Gomer.
All right.
Oh, what an awful mess.
You've been in the Marines all this time, and you pull this kind of boneheaded stunt? Having a civilian in the barracks? A civilian? And a woman civilian? Pyle, I'm gonna make sure you don't forget this. You're gonna remember this for a long, long time when I get to... What?
Excuse me.
Oh, Miss Taylor.
Are you sure everything's all right, that Gomer's not in some kind of trouble?
Really, it's nothing, madam. You see, Private Pyle forgot a few of his duties, and I was just reminding him.
My goodness, do you remind people in that tone of voice? It sounded so rough.
Really, Miss Taylor, why don't you just wait for this knucklehead? I mean, Private Pyle in the rec room.
Well,
Really ain't, Beef. It's okay. Really it is.
all right, Gomer. If you say so. Pity, such a mess.
Now, Pyle, let me tell you what I got planned for you.
Hey, Steve, what are you doing here?
Well, I got so worried you didn't turn up in the recreation room, and I thought I'd come back and see if everything's all right. That Sergeant Carter seemed so annoyed with you.
Oh, it really wasn't much. He just gave me some extra details to do, and just as soon as I get finished, then we can visit.
Oh, good. Well, what do you have to do?
Well, for one thing, I've got to move this sand pile here over there.
Oh, then what?
Well, then I've got to move the sand pile there back over here.
You mean move it back where it came from? Oh, goodness. Well, why do you have to do that?
Because Sergeant Carter said so.
Oh, Gomer, you being punished. Oh, it was because of me, wasn't it?
Oh, no, ain't it? It wasn't
Gomer.
your fault. It wasn't your
Gomer,
fault.
Right. Oh, Gomer, I'm so sorry.
Miss Taylor,
But you
Miss
should have
Taylor.
told me what.
You're not supposed to talk to the men when they're on a detail.
I came back.
You see, the men would never get their work finished if they have civilians talking to
I
them.
know, but
Look, why don't you let me show you a shortcut to the gate?
Oh.
Now, you just go right down this road, right here, and it'll run right out to the main street where you can get yourself a bus. I'm sure you do want to take a bus, don't you?
Thank you very much. I'm sure our listeners were fascinated by your stories of your son, Mickey. This is the Johnny Clark at Large show, talking to you from outside of the gate of Camp Henderson, where we've been interviewing friends and relatives of... Excuse me, madam, excuse me. Would you mind talking to us for a moment?
What?
Tell me, how did you enjoy your visit to Camp Henderson today?
Well, not very much, I can tell you that. I've never been so shocked and surprised in all my life. I just came here to visit my old friend.
Whoa, just a moment. You obviously have a great deal to tell us, but first, what is your name?
B. Taylor. I just came to visit my friend, Private First Class Gomer Pyle. And then all of a sudden, this hollering, this screaming. I never heard anything like it in all my life.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who was hollering and who was screaming?
Sergeant Carter. Short, stocky man. I was having this quiet visit with Gomer, and in came this sergeant who started hollering.
Sarge.
You can't do this, and you can't be here, and you can't go there.
Well, no. Who was he hollering and screaming at?
At both of us, and I was just checking on Gomer there. And there he was by a sand pile. Moving the sand pile from one place to another place and then back again, not making any sense at all. And then he came along, and he just about pushed me down the road.
No.
Yes, he pushed me down the road.
Oh, who pushed you?
Sergeant Carter.
Sergeant, I find that hard to believe.
Well, he did. But it was the hollering and screaming that upset me. Why, back home, if a man behaved like that, we wouldn't have a thing to do with him.
Well, it certainly is interesting, Miss Taylor. But you know, we're running out of time, and I would like to hear more about this. I'm sure our listeners would. I wonder if you'd like to appear on my TV show tomorrow night. Yes, are you going to be in town tomorrow night?
Yes, I am. I'm coming back to see Gomer.
Wonderful. Then I'll expect you on my television show. That winds it up for this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Johnny Clark at Large show.
Company B, Corporal Boyle. Yes, sir. Colonel? Sir, I didn't push her. Yes, sir. I'll be right over on the double. But I didn't push her. Some people can really fool you. She seemed like a sweet, motherly type. She's a killer, Boyle, a killer. This is all your fault, Boyle, all your fault. Good morning, gentlemen. Time to get up. Rise and shine. Up, up, up. Come on, Rebelli. Up, up, up. Upsy daisy. Pyle. Pyle. It's 5:30. Time to get up. A new day is dawning. Pyle. Pyle.
Oh, did you holler, Sergeant?
No, I didn't holler, but I have been trying to get you up for a little while.
Well, that must be the reason I didn't wake up. I'm used to getting up when you holler.
Well, I didn't holler.
Something wrong with your face, Sergeant?
What do you mean?
Well, your lips is spread out funny.
I'm smiling, Pyle. Didn't you ever see anybody smile before?
Oh, sure, but it looks kind of funny when you do it.
Why don't you just get out of the sack, Pyle? All right, everybody. I'd like to see all of you gentlemen out on the street in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, fellows. Hurry it up.
Hey, Sarge, what was that? What was that Mr. Nice Guy routine? Are you cracking up?
No, I'm just getting in practice.
Practice for what?
For that Taylor dame. When she comes out here, I gotta show her a different Sergeant Carter before she goes on that TV show tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. After my little talk with the colonel, I got the definite feeling I better come up with something if I want to keep these stripes.
Oh, is that what he suggested? A new image for Sergeant Carter?
No, he didn't suggest it. It was my own idea. It's just for one day and to let dame blows.
Can't kill you to keep smiling for one day.
No, but it's liable to make me awfully sick. All right, gentlemen, let's line up quickly, if you please. That's right, quickly. Nice, very nice. Careful, Pyle. We mustn't stumble.
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but the reason I was late is I couldn't find my belt.
Oh, well, that's all right. An honest excuse is better than no excuse at all. Next time, may I suggest that you leave your belt right next to your bunk so that you can't miss it. You got that? Good boy.
I think he's on some kind of drug.
All right, gentlemen. Left, pace. Forward, hut.
Hey, Sarge, I don't understand why you're doing all this now. That Taylor dame isn't around.
You never can tell with her. She can pop up anytime, any place, and I ain't taking no chances. Left, head, left, 2, 3. Nice marching, fellas. Very nice. Good, good, very good. Nice, nice, very nice. All right, man, let's keep it moving. First man, go through again. Come on, let's go. Good, good, very good.
Sergeant Carter!
Huh?
Miss Taylor's here.
Why, Miss Taylor, it's so nice to see you again. Welcome aboard, ma'am.
Sergeant Carter, I came to see Gomer.
Well, we're glad to have you. And in fact, you're just in time to see one of our exercises.
Oh, thank you. Where's Gomer?
He's right out there. See, he's the one crawling.
Oh, yes, I see. Woo! Gomer, I'm here!
Hey, B.
Oh, you knucklehead! Pyle, you numbskull, you lame brain. How could you pull such a boneheaded stunt? Of all the knuckleheaded things to do, what if that had been a live grenade?
Well, I'm sorry, Sergeant Carter. I don't know how in the world I could have done a thing like that.
Well, I do. It's because you're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid.
What is the matter? Why are you shouting like that? Don't tell me you're angry with this poor boy again.
Oh, no, I'm not angry. Not really angry.
But ain't B? He's got a right to be angry. I did a very wrong thing.
That's right, Pyle, you did. Naughty, naughty.
Sorry, Sergeant Carter. I really am sorry.
Sorry? You're sorry? Oh, that's good. That's very good. I'm talking to him real nice, ain't I, Miss Taylor? Nice and soft and kind.
Well, it's an improvement. A definite improvement.
Uh-huh. And this is the kind of sergeant you'd like your friend Gomer Pyle to have?
Well, as a matter of fact, I would.
Uh-huh. Well, I can't do it. I ain't that kind of sergeant, and I never will be.
Sergeant Carter.
And, Pyle, if you think I'm gonna drop this, you're nuts. I'm gonna have you down there digging dishes and doing push-ups until you're blue in the face. You got that?
Well, I never. Oh, Gomer, you poor dear.
Really ain't B. There's a few things about Sergeant Carter and the Marines that you ought to know.
Well, we'll have another interesting guest after this word from our sponsor.
Hey, Pyle, are you sure your Aunt Bee's gonna be on TV tonight?
Well, she said she was. She called me from the hotel right before she left.
Hey, you guys cool it, Carter?
Well, has she been on yet?
No, not yet. Sergeant Carter, you want to sit down? You can have my chair.
No, thanks. I'll stand.
Our next guest is a lady I had on the radio program yesterday when we were interviewing out at Camp Henderson. She had some very interesting comments about her visit to the camp. I invited her down tonight to tell us a little more about them. How about a nice, warm welcome for Miss B. Taylor from Mayberry, North Carolina? Miss Taylor, back here. There you are.
Well, here we go, Sarge.
Yeah. More bark.
Now, Miss Taylor, when we talk...
Look, I want to set the record straight. What I said and did was what I thought was right, and no civilian's going to make me change my mind.
Yes, I did.
Quiet, Pyle. You caused enough
Your
trouble.
complaint centered mainly around his sergeant, Sergeant Carter.
That's right.
You said he was unfair and unreasonable. You remember telling me that?
Yes, I remember.
Now, would you mind telling our audience your experience with his sergeant?
Well, when I met Sergeant Carter, he
The
impressed me. Well, when I met Sergeant Carter, he just impressed me as a terribly ill-tempered man. He was shouting and yelling at my friend and ordering him to do things that were completely unnecessary.
Acting like a tyrant, in other words.
Yes. And when I went back today, the same thing happened again. There he was, shouting and yelling and screaming in a way that I thought was entirely uncalled for. So I got the impression of a totally unreasonable and impossible man.
I see.
However, later I did have a talk with Gomer, and he pointed out some things to me that I hadn't realized before. You see, I was judging things from a civilian point of view. And then Gomer pointed out that no matter how Sergeant Carter screams or yells, it's only to make him a better Marine.
You mean Gomer doesn't mind the screaming and yelling?
No, heavens no. He's used to it. He says whenever Sergeant Carter makes him move sand piles or do push-ups, it's only to help him to remember not to do the same wrong thing twice.
Well, your Gomer certainly seems to have changed your mind for you.
Well, apparently Sergeant Carter has to do what he's doing, otherwise he'd end up with a platoon full of knuckleheads.
Hey, Sarge, she made a hero out of you.
Bless her heart.
I knew she'd change her mind once she had a chance to think about it. Civilians have a lot to learn about the military. Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, thank you, sir.
Well, a new day, a new world, huh, Sarge? And to think yesterday you were afraid of losing your stripes.
Afraid? I wasn't afraid.
No?
Terrified, but not afraid.
Sergeant Carter?
Oh, hi, Pyle. Hello, Miss Taylor.
Hello, Sergeant Carter.
Aunt Bee's fixing to leave, and she didn't want to leave without saying goodbye to you.
Well, that's very nice of you, Miss Taylor. And by the way, I'd like to thank you for what you said about me last night. You were real good. And you look great, too. You know, you're very photogenic on television.
Really? Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, anyway, my bus will be leaving shortly, and I wanted to say it has been a pleasure to meet you. And I hope we'll meet again sometime.
Likewise.
Oh, so this is where you do your work, hmm?
Yeah, this is where the brain work is done, eh, Boyle?
Right, Sarge.
Oh, when's the last time those windows were clean?
Why? What's the matter with them?
Well, they look awfully grimy. Oh, I've got an hour and a half before my bus leaves.
Aunt Bee, do you want me to get you some vinegar?
Why don't you go?
Vinegar? Why would anybody
Boy, if you
want...
want to see windows shine, you just let Aunt Bee show you what she can do with vinegar.
Now, wait a minute. According to regulations, no civilian is
I
supposed
don't understand why the Marines won't pay a few extra dollars and have a woman come in once or twice a week. Run along, Gomer. The Marines will come in here and work half a day here and half a day over to the barracks.
You know, Boyle, I've been thinking, by rights, you ought to pick a sergeant.
Huh?
This artist that's coming to paint the recruiting poster. He ought to pick a sergeant.
Yeah? Why?
Well, it makes sense. Who better to represent the Corps than a sergeant? The guy that makes things stick, right?
Yeah, but there are no hard and fast rules about recruiting posters. This artist may pick a corporal.
A corporal?
Well, yeah. They might decide to go with a nice, tall corporal.
What's height got to do with it? Napoleon was short.
And he was a corporal.
Look, Boyle, I don't have all day to stand around here discussing military history with you. Why don't you get them requisitions over to Supply? Oui, oui, mon capitaine.
Now, what are you doing here?
Well, you sent for me, Sergeant. I'm supposed to clean up the duty hut.
Well, that don't give you the license to come around here sneaking up on people and spying on them.
But I wasn't spying, Sergeant, honest.
If you're wondering what I was doing, I was just checking out a cut on my chin. I got it shaving.
Oh, that's a shame, Sergeant. Where is it? I don't see it.
Well, it's gone now. I happen to have very fast coagulation.
Good for you. It's a lucky thing you ain't like my Uncle Aaron. He's a bleeder. Why, he can get a little old paper cut sometimes and bleed.
Yeah. Look, Pyle, you didn't happen to see any civilians on the base? Civilian with a beard?
No, sir.
Well, there's an artist supposed to check in. He's gonna paint the new recruiting poster.
Yes, sir, I heard.
I hear they're gonna pick somebody right here on the base.
Yes, sir, I heard.
I wonder who they'll pick.
I don't know.
My guess is a non-commissioned officer. I mean, who else, huh? A sergeant?
You know what?
What?
I've got a suspicion. I ain't sure, mind you, but I've got a suspicion.
About what?
Well, I can't think of anybody better for that poster than you, Sergeant Carter.
Me?
Why not? You've been in the Marines a lot of years, and you're a sergeant. Who could represent the Corps better than you?
Me? Why, the thought never even crossed my mind. But like you say, it's just a suspicion.
But it's a strong suspicion, Sergeant. Why, that face of yours is just perfect for a painting.
It is?
That strong chin, that rugged, determined look, them cold, steely eyes.
How about the flaring nostrils?
And the flaring nostrils. Fact is, something I noticed this very minute. If you had a cleft in your chin, you'd be the spitting image Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas! Kirk Douglas! I don't know why in the world I never have noticed that before. He's always been one of my favorites, and he looks just like you do. I don't know why.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing?
Well, clean it up like I'm supposed to.
Are you kidding? A man with your intelligence shouldn't be doing janitor work. Go, my boy. Relax. Keep thinking good thoughts.
Well, thank you, Sergeant. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kirk Douglas! Kirk Douglas!
What are you doing here, Pyle?
Oh, hey, Sergeant. I think that artist feller's here. This looks like his car with all those paints and brushes and stuff.
Yeah, this is him, all right. He must be in the colonel's office.
Why don't you go in and meet him and let him get a good look at you?
Nah, I don't want to make it look like I'm pushing. He'll get to see me soon enough.
Oh, the artist. In the office, huh?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I ought to go in and set the time.
Set the time? For what?
For when he wants me to pose for that picture. I'm ready.
You're ready? With that face? Look, Hacker, the whole idea of this post is to get recruits, not scare them away.
Well, if you're figuring on being the one, forget it. With that kisser of yours, the Marines who are already in will go over the hill. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll just drop in and see if there's anything I can do. You know, to make the artist feel more at home.
No, that ain't necessary. Look, Charlie, if there's one thing about me, I don't like to do anything underhanded, so I'll level with you. The colonel's already assigned me to show this guy around and take care of him.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. In fact, I was on my way in there when you came along. Ain't that right, Pyle?
Oh, well...
You see? So, being as he's had a long, hard trip, I thought I'd let him unwind. I was going to take him by the officers' club, let him go in the steam room, and get a massage, shoot a little pool with the boys.
Good morning, sir. Morning, sir.
Morning. As you urge, ma'am. Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Miss Leslie Forbes.
Morning.
Forbes.
She's the artist who'll be doing the new recruiting poster. Miss Forbes will be observing all the men in action. You just continue about your normal duties, and she'll be wandering around among you, looking for just the right type for the poster. Is that right, Miss Forbes?
That's right, Colonel.
If you should need anything, Miss Forbes, Sergeants Carter and Hacker will be glad to be of service.
Yes, ma'am. Anything you like, Miss Forbes.
Just call on me any time, ma'am.
Anything you like, Miss Forbes.
I'm Sergeant Hacker.
Anything.
All right, Colonel. Now I'll show you to your quarters.
Thank you.
Anything.
It's a lady. The artist is a lady.
Yeah. Well, good luck on finding a his and hers steam room on the base.
What's up, Sarge? We don't have any dress parade scheduled for today, do we? Is it a special guard detail? Is something doing up at headquarters?
You're sitting on my gloves.
What are you doing?
Boy, you're full of questions today. Where are you going? What are you doing? What's this?
I
What's
still
that?
don't get it. Why the dress blue uniform?
Why? Because it's there. Look, Hacker, that uniform ain't gonna help you. You're still stuck with that face.
Look who's talking.
If I had a puss like yours...
As you were. Why the dress blues, gentlemen? I don't recall any dress parade scheduled for today.
There wasn't, sir? We must have been misinformed, Sergeant Hacker.
Obviously, Sergeant Carter.
Oh, good. You ready?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Miss Forbes.
Sergeant Hacker here.
Carter, Sergeant Carter. Anything I can do for you, ma'am. Anything.
I was just taking Miss Forbes to lunch.
Where are we eating?
I thought right here at the Officers Club.
Wonderful. Goodbye, Sergeants.
Hacker, ma'am.
Carter. You know what, Hacker? You look stupid. All right, you people, fall in. Come on the double. Move. If memory serves me, exactly 10 minutes ago, I gave you people an order to police up this area. Now, it seems to me, in 10 minutes, a platoon of big, strong, able-bodied Marines like yourself could do the job. But is the job done? No. And do you know why it ain't done? Because you men are derelict in your duties. Very derelict. And who is the derelictest of them all? You. Let me remind you that policing an area is no different than any other Marine Corps operation. You gotta do it like you mean it. With muscle, with esprit de corps, with gung-ho. And that goes for the rest of you. Just remember, when you are picking up them cigarette butts, your conduct reflects on the entire Marine Corps. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Pyle!
Hey, Sergeant Hacker, did you want to say...
Who gave you permission to talk?
Well,
How long you been in the Marines, boy?
over 3.5 years.
Don't you know you just don't walk up to a non-commissioned officer and start talking, boy? Am I a non-commissioned officer?
Yes, sir.
What's my name?
Sergeant Hacker.
Who?
Sergeant Hacker.
Right. I stand before you as a symbol of leadership, and your respect for that leadership is vital if we're to carry on in the proud tradition of the United States Marine Corps. Is that clear, boy?
Yes, sir.
Dismissed. Why, Miss Forbes?
Just what do you think you're doing, Private?
Well, dusting my mattress, sir.
dusting it or beating it to death?
Oh, well, I always like to give him a mattress a good whack, and he says the only way you can get all the dirt out.
Have you forgotten why you're in the Corps, Private? You're here to protect this great country of ours, whose taxpayers have banded together to pay for your equipment. And protecting that equipment is as important as any battle. So any damage inflicted on that mattress when in your possession is a clear violation of the public trust. You got that, Private? Yes or what?
Any damage inflicted on this mattress while in my possession is a clear violation of public trust.
Right, carry on. Let's let them knock their brains out for another half hour. Hold it, knock it off, hold it! No, you're going at it like a bunch of pussycats. Private Pyle, suit up. Here, give me that. Now, this is kill or be killed. Hand-to-hand combat. You gotta hit hard and fast. Private Pyle, on guard. Pump, pump, pump!
That was very good, Sergeant. But if I might add a point here. Now, a blow to the head is okay for knocking the enemy unconscious. But for the actual kill, a thrust to the midsection is the most effective way. Private, on guard. Agreed?
Well, why don't we ask the private which one is the most effective? Private, which one?
Well, golly, you both done very well.
Come in, Miss Forbes. Come in. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Well, how goes the search for your Marine?
Well, actually, the search is over. I've chosen my subject, and I'm ready to start to work.
Well, that's fine. May I ask who the lucky Marine is?
He's a private first class. His name is Pyle.
Gomer Pyle?
Oh, is that his first name? Anyway, I think he's just perfect for the poster.
Would you mind telling me why you selected this particular man?
Well, to me, he epitomizes the Marines. He's tough as nails.
Pyle?
I've seen him bellowed at, badgered, knocked about, but no matter what those sergeants throw at him, he takes it all without flinching.
Well, as long as you're enthusiastic about him, I'll arrange to have him relieved of his duties temporarily so he can pose for you.
Oh, no, Colonel, please, I'd rather you wouldn't. A posed picture always comes out looking just like that, posed. I'd like to just follow him and sketch him without his knowing about it.
Fine.
Do you think he'll be surprised?
I think a lot of people will be surprised.
Sergeant Carter. Psst, Sergeant Carter.
What, Pyle?
You won't believe this, Sergeant. You just won't believe this.
Believe what?
That Miss Forbes, she's over there starting to draw. I told you you'd be the one she'd pick.
Yeah. How about that? It's a strange way to go about it, though. I thought she'd want me to pose for her like all them artists do.
I guess she just wants to catch you in action. You know, that's what the Marines are known for, is action.
Yeah, that must be it. Okay, if that's what she wants, that's what she'll get.
On your feet, Private! The rest of you people, listen up. When conditions permit, the mortar crew will wait at least 1 minute before attempting to unload the round, in order to prevent an accident by a possible misfire of the ignition cartridge.
Hey, Charlie, you're not going to chow, are you?
Why not?
Well, I didn't think you'd be hungry. After all, the last couple of days, you've been eating a lot of crow.
What are you talking about?
It's tearing you up inside, ain't it? It's tearing you up that for 2 days you've been following me around instead of you. That it's me on that canvas and not you.
What makes you so sure?
Look, has she been anywhere near your platoon? Anywhere?
Well, don't be so smug until you see how it comes out. With your kiss of the paint might curdle.
It's tearing you up inside, tearing you up. Hey, Pyle.
Yes, Sergeant.
Come inside. I want to talk to you. Pyle, have you seen Miss Forbes around today?
No, I hadn't, Sergeant.
Well, I guess she's back in her quarters putting the finishing touches on my painting. You know, I'm just dying to know how it turned out.
Well, why don't you go over there and take a look? It's the only way you'll ever know.
Oh, I can't do that. Well, first of all, I don't want to seem too anxious. And second of all, I hear the artists don't like the subject seeing the picture until it's finished.
Yeah, I guess there is kind of a superstition there.
Hey, wait a minute. Why don't you take a look?
Me?
Well, sure. You ain't the subject, so it's okay. Just sort of wander in casually, take a gander at it, and bring me back a report.
Well, all right, Sergeant. I'd be happy to. I've been dying to see what it looks like. I just know it'll be a picture we'll all be proud of. Not just the fellers here at Camp Henderson, but the whole United States Marine Corps.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Pyle. I'm gonna do my darndest never to let the image of that picture down.
Come in.
Hey, Miss Forbes.
Why, hello, Gomer.
Hope you don't mind my dropping by like this. I know how busy you are.
It's quite all right. I'm glad you did.
Thank you, ma'am.
You want to see the painting, don't you?
Could I, ma'am?
Well, I was planning to give everyone a preview peek tomorrow, but I don't see why you can't see it now. You, of all people.
Well, it's real kind of you, ma'am. Ever since you started this painting, I've just been chomping at the bit to take a look at it. Oh, Lordy, it's me.
Do you like it?
Well, you painted me. That's me up there in that picture. Why did you paint me? Why me?
Something wrong? Don't you like it?
Oh, Miss Forbes, I don't know how to tell you this.
What is it, Gomer?
Well, I appreciate you picking me as the one. I'm really proud that you did, but there's somebody else that's been in the Marines a lot longer than I have, and he's the one that should be up there, not me.
What do you mean?
Well, it's my sergeant, ma'am, Sergeant Carter. Golly, all the time that you was following us around, I assumed it was him. And what's worse is, well, he assumed it was him. Believe me, he represents the Marines a lot better than I can.
Well, I understand your feelings about your sergeant, Gomer, but I found you to be a better subject for the poster.
Oh, my, oh, my. Sergeant Carter's gonna have a fit. He's gonna have a real fit. He was really counting on this. In fact, he's the one that sent me over here to find out how his painting turned out and then give him a full report on it. Oh, I don't know how I'm ever gonna face him. Ever since I've been in the Marines, I've been under his watchful eye. He's the one that made a Marine out of me. And now for me to get all the glory instead of him? Oh, I think I may run away.
Pyle. Pyle! 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 Pyle!
Hey, Sergeant.
Pyle, where have you been? You were supposed to bring me back a report, remember?
Oh, well, I thought I'd smooth the ground out in this area. You know what you always say. I want the ground in this area so smooth a person could glide on it.
Never mind about that. Just give me the dope. How was it?
How was what, sir?
The painting. What else?
Oh, the painting. Oh, well, she's a real good artist, Sergeant. Real good.
Yeah? Tell me all about it, and don't skip a single detail.
Well, promise me one thing, Sergeant. Promise you won't be too disappointed.
Oh, no. Don't tell me she blew it. You just said she was a good artist.
Well, she is, Sergeant. But, well, you know how these artists are. They see things different than we do.
How different?
Well, just different than you'd expect.
Well, can't you give me a hint, for Pete's sakes? Do I at least look like me? Is there any resemblance at all?
Well, just promise me you won't be too upset, Sergeant.
Oh, forget it. When the time comes, I'll see it myself. You send a knucklehead on a mission, that's what you get, a knucklehead report.
At ease. As you all know, we have been privileged for the past few days to have in our presence the renowned artist, Miss Leslie Forbes. She has graciously contributed her talents to the creation of the next Marine recruiting poster. And before it's turned over for copying, she wanted some of you men to see the original work. And to unveil this painting, I give you the artist herself, Leslie Forbes.
Thank you, Colonel Gray. And thank all you men for your cooperation during my stay here. It's been my privilege to be among you. I hope you like what I've done. And now for your approval, here is the picture for the new Marine recruiting poster.
Hey, that's Gomer. That's Gomer.
Just like that guy. Hey, it's Gomer. Hey, yeah, Gomer, you son of a gun.
Hey, Vince, let's play a little game. What's wrong with that picture?
Now may I explain something? As you have noticed, there's an eye in the background. I feel that this is an important part of the painting and will do much to help sell recruits. It's the watchful eye of the Marine behind the Marine, the backbone of the Corps, the sergeant. This eye represents that man, and it happens to be the eye of Gomer's own platoon sergeant, the man who molded Gomer into a Marine, Sergeant Carter.
Is that my eye, really?
Yes, it is. I think it makes the picture.
You know something? There is a resemblance.
Hey, Sergeant.
Oh, hi, Pyle. Look, they got our poster out.
Golly, sure looks smart. Makes you real proud, don't it?
Yeah, it's really something. Kind of inspiring, ain't it? In case you didn't notice, that's me. No, the eye, that's me. The Marine behind the Marine.
That's right, the backbone of the Corps. The leader that takes green recruits and molds them into men.
My eye.
Luann, I can't tell you how good it is to hear your voice. I just can't tell you how good it is.
And have you been a good boy while I've been gone?
All right, straighten up that line, look sharp. Okay, you knuckleheads, let's hit it. 10, hut! Heads in, elbows to the sides. Freeze! Let's look sharp now, eyes straight ahead. I don't want to see a muscle move.
What'd you say, Luann?
Don't even breathe. Do you read me? You taking a sunbath, Mason? Button it, button it. Where's your cap?
I left it in the truck. You see, I thought that...
Oh, you thought. We have a thinker in the group. Look, Spinoza, I do all the thinking around here. You got that? If I catch you without that cap again, I'll put it on for you. And if I put it on for you, it's gonna take a plumber to get it off. You men on duty here?
Well, no, not exactly.
Then shove off! Move it! Move it! All right, now hear this.
Why, it's been the lonesomest 3 weeks, 4.5 days that I can remember.
Actually, Gomer, I must confess, I missed you, too.
Shazam! See you tonight at the Bluebird Cafe about 7:30? I can hardly wait.
Check into barracks A, stow your gear, and report to the company office at 1700. Dismissed.
Bye, Luann. Excuse me, ma'am. I didn't mean to run into you like that. I just couldn't help myself is all. You're new here right this minute, aren't you?
Oh, I get it. You're just nosing around so you can get the names of those other girls. Well, let me tell you something.
What other girls?
You didn't see any other girls?
No, ma'am, just you. You're the only girl I saw.
Well, what are you grinning about?
Well, it's just that now suddenly things seem to be just real nice.
Huh?
I mean, when you've been lonesome for a long time, and then you hear that one girl's voice, well, the birds start to sing and the sun starts to shine, and then you ain't lonesome anymore.
Just like that? Go on.
It's the truth. I know I shouldn't be talking to you like this, us just having met, and you being a corporal and all, but I just plain had to say those things or bust.
That's all right.
I never did think this day would ever come, and now my long wait's over.
But I don't even know your name.
I'm Pyle, ma'am, Gomer Pyle.
Pyle. Gomer Pyle. It's nice. It's unusual, but it's nice. I'm I'm Carol. Carol Barnes.
Carol? Oh, that's a pretty name.
You really think so?
Uh-huh. The fact is, there was a girl back home by the name of Carol, and I always did think it was one of the prettiest names around.
Oh, and just, where would back home be?
Mayberry, North Carolina. It's just a little bitty town about 30 miles outside of Raleigh.
Oh, I just love little bitty towns. They're so friendly. Howdy, neighbor, and all that. Howdy, neighbor.
Howdy. Sure glad to meet you, and I just know you're going to love it here.
I'm sure I will.
There's so many nice places to go in case you get lonesome, like the Bluebird Cafe. That's right down there in the middle of town.
Bluebird Cafe?
Fact is, I'm going to be there myself tonight.
All by yourself?
I hope not for long.
Aren't you taking an awful lot for granted?
Well, I sure hope I see you again real soon, ma'am.
Well, you never can tell. Ta-ta.
Hey, evening, Gomer. What'll it be?
Well, I think I'll wait and order when Luann gets here. She's back in town, you know, and I'm going to meet her here at 7:30.
Oh, but you're a little early, aren't you?
Well, I didn't want to be late. Hey, I think I will have a cup of coffee while I'm waiting.
Okay.
Oh, hi there.
Hey, Corporal.
All by yourself again, huh?
Well, no, not exactly.
Oh, you don't have to pretend, Gomer, not with me. I know what it is to be alone.
Oh, but I'm not alone, not now.
Of course you're not, and neither am I, because we're together.
But, Corporal, don't you see?
Carol.
Well, Carol, what I'm trying to say
We can't
is...
talk here, Gomer. Not really. I've got my car outside, and there's a lovely movie at the drive-in. Come on, you don't have to be embarrassed with me. After all, we're friends now.
But, Corporal, what I'm trying to tell you
I
is...
told you, not Corporal. Tonight I'm Carol Barnes. Woman.
Well, if you excuse me a minute, I'll go get some popcorn. Would you like some?
We'll share.
Phone call for you, honey. Sounds like Gomer.
I don't know what happened to him. He was here just a little while ago.
My goodness, I hope he's all right. Hello? Gomer? Well, where are you?
It was the darndest thing. This here corporal who's new on the base just today, and the lonesomest thing you can imagine. And, well, the next thing you know, here we are with the picture about to start.
Gomer, you sure do get yourself in fixes. Why, you're just too obliging to everybody.
But I've been looking forward so much to seeing you. After 3 long weeks, 4.5 days, I sure wished I was with you.
Oh, so do I, Gomer. You're just too nice for your own good. But I guess that's one of the things I like about you.
Well, can we make it tomorrow night for sure? At 7? And you will excuse me for tonight, won't you, Luann? Okay, fine. Well, bye.
Hello again. Oh, you got back just in time.
You want some popcorn?
No, thank you.
Will you hold it for me for a minute?
Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Speaker, we want to hear the movie, don't we? Thank you. Hey, look, it's a Roadrunner cartoon. It's my favorite. I've seen this one before, though, but I don't mind seeing it again. In this one, there's a fox, and he thinks he can make a delicious dinner out of the Roadrunner. So what he does is... Oh, I better not take it to the end and just ruin it for you.
Yeah. Gee, Gomer, this morning we were complete strangers, and now tonight, here we are together watching a Roadrunner cartoon. Gomer, look.
They're missing the best part of the cartoon. Boy, just look at him go. Nobody can ever catch him. He just zips up the road and then zips back down again.
Sorry.
Boy, just look at him sitting there. Was you dozing off? Don't you like the picture?
Oh, I love it.
You really should watch it. Boy, look at him go. They never can catch that little old rascal.
So tonight you're here first.
Not taking any chances. I'm just dying to see him.
I was hoping
hoping I'd find you here. What do you say, Gomer? You want to take in another drive-in movie tonight? Or better still, why don't we find some quiet little place where we can go dancing? That'd be a lot cozier.
But, Corporal?
Oh, we don't have to decide right now. I tell you what, why don't we sit down and have a bite to eat, and then we can make our plans. Oh, I'm so glad we bumped into each other. It's fate, Gomer, that's what it is. Fate.
Luann? Well, glory be. I've been trying to get you for the last 2 days, but either you don't answer or your line's been busy.
Who is this speaking, please?
Well, this is Gomer.
Gomer who?
Luann, I don't blame you for being mad. There's been an awful mix-up, and I just got to talk to you.
Well, I doubt very much if that's possible. I only answered the phone to tell you that I don't wish to speak to you. Goodbye, Mr. Pyle.
Wait a minute, Luann. Don't hang up. Listen, couldn't we get together for just a little bit and let me explain everything?
I'm sorry, but I have a very crowded schedule.
Couldn't you see me for just a little bit, please?
Well, actually, I do seem to have tonight open.
That's great. Then we can meet and talk.
Uh-huh. I believe a man should be given a chance to prove his innocence.
That's real nice of you, Luann, real nice.
It's the American way.
7 o'clock at the Bluebird? Well, I'll see you then. Bye. Hi. What are you doing here?
Oh, I just came out for a breath of fresh air, and lo and behold, here you are.
Yeah.
Where were you last night? I was kind of hoping I might hear from you.
Oh, well, I turned in kind of early.
Oh, that's all right. Tonight's another night, and we're together. Hey, Gomer, I was thinking that tonight we could spend...
Carol, I can't go out with you this evening.
What's the matter? Don't you feel well? Are you sick? Stick out your tongue, Gomer.
No,
Where does
Carol.
it hurt? Tell Carol.
Carol, I feel fine, but I still can't go out with you tonight. You see, well, sit down just a minute. You see, Carol, I'm meeting another girl.
Another girl? You mean you found somebody else?
Well, no, not exactly. See, I knew Luann before I knew you, and we've been going out right along.
You mean you're engaged?
No, we're not engaged.
Going steady?
Well, not even that. We date, or we did date until you came along.
What do you mean, did? You mean my coming along changed things?
It sure did. You shook my life up something fierce.
Me?
Now, boy, right from the beginning, you just took over.
Well, I know. I guess there are some things you can't fight.
I'm on my way now to meet her to explain to her about you.
You should, Gomer. It's the right thing to do. You should tell her about this.
I just hope she understands.
I tell you what, I'll go with you, and together we'll make her understand.
Would you really help me explain? It'd make things a lot easier.
You just leave everything to me.
Hey, Luann. Luann, this is Corporal Carol Barnes. Carol, this is Luann Poovie.
Hi, Miss Poovie.
Well, it seems to me that three's a crowd.
Wait a minute, Luann. You got it all wrong. Carol came here to help me explain things to you.
That's right.
So please don't go, please. This whole thing has been one great big misunderstanding. So let's see where to start. Well, I guess the best place to begin is at the beginning. Well, to begin with...
Hey, Gomer, why don't you let me talk to her? You know, woman to woman. You see, Miss Poovie, Luann, when I met Gomer, I didn't know about you two. And, well, naturally, when two women want the same man, one of them's got to lose. And what I'm trying to say is, the way I used to handle it was just to bow out gracefully without creating a scene or getting hysterical. And That's the best way to handle it. So, cheer up. I bet you the next time you'll be a winner.
Carol, are you
I don't
telling me that Gomer prefers you?
Say no more.
I see.
Well, no, you don't.
I thank you for being so truthful to me.
Oh, you're very welcome, Luann.
But, Luann...
Goodbye, Mr. Pyle. Forever.
Wait a minute, Luann. You've got it all wrong.
Gomer? Gomer, now that wasn't so bad, was it?
Why did you say those things to her?
Well, you didn't seem to be able to tell her that there was something between us, so I did it for you.
But, Carol, I thought you came here to tell her that there was nothing between us.
It's so much easier on her that way. What'd you say?
That there's nothing between us, 'cause there ain't. Don't you see? Luann's my best girl. That's what I've been trying to tell you for the last couple of days, but you just never would give me the chance. I'm really sorry that it had to get to this point.
You mean it's always been her?
Ever since the first time I set eyes on Luann, I knew that there was nobody else like her. I never even dreamed she'd go out with me, but she did. And then we got to liking each other more and more and understanding each other, and we was just two people that was happy to be together. It didn't matter where we were or what we was doing. The main thing was that we was just together. Of course, I'm very flattered that you was interested in me, too. Of course, I don't know why. An attractive girl like you ought to have a lot of boyfriends. You mean you don't? Well, then you should have. There's no reason in the world that you shouldn't have lots of fellers. You're nice looking, and you've got a real good personality. Of course, there is one suggestion I could make. Well, if we was to go out together again, which we can't, 'cause I'm already spoke for, then, well, I'd like to be the one to arrange things. I mean, I'd like to pick the place to go to, and I'd like to drive, but most of all, I'd like to be the one to do the asking.
What you mean is I come on kind of strong.
Well, all I know is when I'm out with Luann, I feel real important. I mean, she always lets me lead the way, and it makes me feel real good to open doors for her and to take her arm when we cross the street, things like that.
I don't think I could ever do that. I sure didn't get to be a corporal that way.
Well, you was a girl before you was a corporal.
Well, that can wait. Right now, we gotta get you back to Luann.
I don't even think she wants to see me anymore.
We'll convince her.
Will?
Don't worry. This time I'll say the right things.
Golly, maybe we better not.
It'll be fine, Gomer. Don't worry.
Hey, Luann.
Miss Poovie, to you. Besides, I thought I'd made myself...
Luann, this was my idea. Can we come in, please?
I'd rather you didn't.
Luann, back at the Bluebird Cafe, I said some things that I think need correcting.
There's nothing to correct. It's all quite clear. Besides, I'm no longer interested in Mr. Pyle. He has toyed with my affections for the last time.
But I wasn't toying with your affections, honest.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Pyle. You most certainly
I was all trying to
Look, I can clear this whole thing up if you just give me a minute to explain.
There's no need to explain. You made yourself quite clear at our earlier meeting. You were the victor. Take your spoils and go.
You're not listening, dear. He wants you.
It's too late now.
How would you like a shot right in the biscuit? As you were, Marine. You, open up.
Your marine tactics don't...
Now! You, in there.
But I don't...
Move it, move it, move it. All right, now hear this, and hear it good. You, Private, over there.
But I don't...
On the double, on the double, on the double. And you, Miss Poovie, join him.
But you can't...
Secure the chatter. Move it, move it, move it, move it. All right, at ease. Both. If you two don't know how to square away this foul up, I do. You prize it. You will put your arm around her, and that's an order. And you will put your head on his shoulder. Get with it. And keep it there. Carry on.
She certainly is forceful, isn't she?
That's exactly what I've been trying to tell you, Luann.
You know something, Gomer? I'm glad she's forceful.
Me too, Luann. Me too. Sure is nice to see you again, and I want to thank you for what you did last night.
Oh, it was nothing.
Oh, it was plenty. Luann understands everything now, and things are fine between us. Fact is, I was just talking to her, and she and I'd like to take you out to dinner tonight.
Oh, that's real sweet, Gomer, but why don't you two go along and have fun?
Well, maybe some other time then, huh?
Sure.
Well, I've got to rush on back to the barracks. I'll see you.
Okay, Gomer. Oh! 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 Let me go, you knuckleheads. I can take care of myself. Oh! I don't know what came out. Oh, thank you so much. Could I have a little water, please? I declare it's so nice of a big, strong fella like you to take care of a itty-bitty girl like me. What a muscle!
He wasn't on our previous rosters. Oh, that, Sting said, waving a dismissive hand. Well, I needed a replacement for my previous marksman. So I went over to headquarters and I checked some personnel records there. I came across Private O'Malley. He's listed in Captain Parker's platoon, originally an unsung talent. And when I found out he's an iron bow expert, I immediately pulled String's bow and talked him into joining my outfit. Sting Ramsey finished, radiating, because you never know when you're gonna need an iron bow expert, do you? Especially if Bo Montgomery starts getting some silly ideas about competition. Bo just glared. Defeated. I think so. Does that answer your question, Bo? I call that astute leadership and resourcefulness, myself. Sting Ramsey chuckled. The Bluebird Cafe tonight, same as always. 2 rock steaks, and an order of fried asteroid sprouts. Bo just nodded numbly. Say, Sting, can we make it a little later tonight? Say, around 9 o'clock, or 2 hours after the second sun goes down behind the teepee? Sting Ramsey, still chuckling, walked off with his triumphant marksman. It's 4 o'clock, Captain, Percy chirped. Bo whirled on him. Hey Pip, you'll find Private Presky over at the mess hall. Tell him I owe him a bar of 10 credits, and get that archaic equipment back to the recreation hub. On the double, move it. Percy jumped, startled by the sudden outburst. Oh, he looked deflated, then scurried off. Bo slammed his fist on a table. He did it to me again. He must have got tipped off about the archery, showing up at an archery contest with a genuine iron bow-wielding Indian. Funny. Very funny. There's got to be a leak in this organization. And when I find out who... Just then, Percy Pippin reappeared, a slight bounce to his step. Hey, Captain. Captain. Well, what are you doing here? I told you to pick up that dough from Presky. Oh, I did, Captain. Here it is, Percy said, presenting a 10-credit chip. And I took all that archery equipment back to the recreation hub. Already? Bo demanded, startled. Well, you just took off a few segments ago. Well, the captain told me to do it on the double. Percy explained, a flash of innocent pride. And that's just what I've done in my room every step of the way. I had to run. Bo stared at Percy, a vague, nascent thought stirring in his overstressed mind. What's this? He pointed to a datapad in Percy's hand. Well, that's the holoflick schedule, Captain, Percy said. Colonel Ramsey brought it over and wanted to give it to you personally, but I explained you was out getting the archery equipment, and you really couldn't be bothered, as it was very important and confidential. Bo's eye twitched. Wow. Oh, did we explain to him that I was up to something? So that's why I knew it. I knew there had to be a big mouth somewhere. I might have known it was Pippin. Pippin, you were in for it. You see this. Bo snatched the schedule. Take a good look at it, because that's all you're going to be seeing for a whole galactic cycle. You're going to scrub down this entire rec hub. You're going to scrub down the barracks, the mess hall, the training range. My one chance to clap back at Ramsey. Percy flinched, but then his eyes widened. Did you say, Captain, that I ran to the mess hall, the rec hub, and back? I went really, really fast. I did. Would you mind? Pippin, Bo seethed. You're going to have raw hands and knees and feet, scrubbing for a cycle. But, Captain, don't you see? Percy insisted, practically vibrating with excitement. That's over 1.5 miles of running, there and back. So, well, I ran it in less than 9 minutes. Captain, I did. All that way, less than 9 minutes. Bo stopped, his rage momentarily forgotten, and stared at Percy. Over 1.5 miles. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Bo repeated slowly, his mind beginning to whir in a different direction. That's good, ain't it? It's better than good, Pippin, Lancer Dixon, who had quietly rejoined, whispered in awe. It's crazy. Captain, you've got a track star on your hands. Bo blinked. A track star. In his platoon. Right under his nose. Yeah, well, if I'm going to do all that scrubbing, I guess I better get started, Percy mumbled, already looking forlorn. Scrubbing, Bo scoffed, snapping his fingers. What scrubbing? Just a little joke. Pippin, as if I'd ever want you to do anything like that. That would be inhumane for such a fast man. He practically dragged Percy by the arm. Hey, come on into the office. Sit down. Take it easy. That's right. Have a cigar. Pippin, you've earned it. Percy, bewildered, sat down, still clutching the holoflick schedule. No, Captain, that's for you. I couldn't impose. Bo waved his hand dismissively. Oh, look, Pippin, how come you get to run like this? So fast. Well, back home on Hickenlooper Prime, when I used to work at the hydro fuel station, I was a volunteer atmospheric firefighter, too, Percy explained, happy to talk. And whenever the alarm would go off, I'd have to drop whatever I was doing and run down there to the fire station. Well, it was about 1 mile away, so unless I made it in 4 or 5 minutes, I'd lose my place on the fire truck, and I wouldn't get to ring the big bell. And I sure did like to ring that bell, Captain. So you ran the mile in 4 or 5 minutes? Bo asked, trying to keep his voice even. I had to, Captain, otherwise Private Farmer up the Holokirch would get to ring the bell, and I sure did like to ring that bell. Bo exchanged a stunned look with Lancer. Bo whispered to Lancer, we could clock him to make sure. This might just be our chance, Dixon. Right, Captain, Lancer replied, already scrambling for a chronotime. Now, look, Pippinbow said, turning back to Percy, his voice low and conspiratorial. Get back to the barracks and get some rest. Then meet us here tonight at 8 o'clock. Right after dark. Only, don't tell nobody about this. Nobody. Pippin, this is a very big secret. Right, Captain. Percy saluted smartly, his eyes shining with newfound purpose. What's it all about, Captain? Lancer whispered eagerly. Bo clapped his hands together. Well, Pippin, if it works out, I'm going to give you a chance to ring the biggest bell for me yet. The bell of victory against Sting Ramsey. He let out a triumphant, albeit slightly unhinged, laugh. Chapter 8. The Psychological Warfare and the Cosmic Marathon. The clandestine night trials were Bo Montgomery's feverish dream made real. Under the cloak of the artificial twilight cycle, Percy Pippin ran, a blur of motion across the Starstone encampment's deserted training grounds. Lancer Dixon and Archie Finch, clutching advanced chronotimers, gaped at the readouts. You better pile on me. 2 more to go. Pippin, Bo yelled, urging Percy forward, completely invested in his new discovery. How's this time, Lancer? You wouldn't believe it, Captain. Lancer gasped, his voice awestruck. He's shattering all records. How about that, Archie? Bo crowed, a triumphant grin on his face. Who could figure that Pippin would be the one to bail me out of my financial predicament? I can't understand it. But there it is. At last, we got a winner. A real winner. That Sting Ramsey'll never suspect it, because it's Pippin. Percy, having finished his latest sprint, jogged back, still a little out of breath but radiating enthusiasm. Hey, Captain, here he comes again, Lancer shouted, pointing. You better run, Pippin. You're running to ring that bell. Go, crazy legs. Go. Percy took off again, a joyous, almost effortless burst of speed. Elsewhere on the base, Colonel Sterling Sting Ramsey watched through the dim illumination, a smug look on his face. Now I've heard everything. What do you mean your squad is more mobile? You've got to be joking. He confronted Bo the next morning at the mess hall, deliberately loud. Bo Montgomery, surprisingly calm, met Sting Ramsey's challenge head-on. Just like I said, Sting, all right. You've got your guys doing zero-graph push-ups and atmospheric setups until they're muscle-bound. That's yesterday's stuff. We're geared for today. Speed is what counts. Run fast. Hit fast. I've trained them that way. My guys are like greased lightning. Any one of them. Sting Ramsey scoffed, folding his arms. Ha ha ha. That's the truth, Bow. Any one of your guys can pass any one of my guys, like he was standing still. That you'll have to show me, Montgomery. Bo seized the bait. It's easy to prove. Sting, let's have a race. We've had every other kind of contest, from plasma darts to Astra chess. Let's have a foot race. A race? Sting's eyes narrowed, a competitive fire igniting within them. Sure, and this time, let's make it more interesting. Not just for the Bluebird Cafe and its crummy rustic dinner. Let's make it for a steak dinner with all the trimmings at the Go-Go Club. Bo flinched internally. The Go-Go Club was notoriously expensive. The Go-Go Club, that could run me 200 credits. Sting Ramsey, however, misread Bo's hesitation. He suspected Bo was holding back a ringer. Hey, Bo, you wouldn't happen to have a ringer lined up, would you? Someone faster than a teleportation beam that you've been hiding from me. Bo feigned indignation. My sergeant. I said any one of my guys. I'll even let you pick them. Here. Bo pulled out a datapad displaying the first platoon roster, subtly highlighted with fake performance metrics. I just happen to have a roster of all the men in my platoon right here. What could be more fair, Colonel? Go ahead. Pick 'em. Bo subtly steered Sting's gaze towards Lancer Dixon's exaggeratedly inflated stats. We'll make it for 1 mile on Saturday afternoon. Sting Ramsey took the datapad. Do you mind? How can you smoke those synthropes anyway? He scanned the list. Let's see. Masters. He's that little guy. Check. Okay. I picked Private Archie Finch. Bo's internal calculations screeched to a halt. Hey, just a minute. Sting, not so fast. What's that crossed out here? Bo pointed, his finger accidentally landing on Percy's name, which Bo had tried to obscure by scratching out. Sting Ramsey squinted at the faint, scratched-out name. Crossed out? What's that? Nothing. Nothing. Is nothing spelled P-R-C-Y? P-I-P-P-R? Bo's face turned scarlet. Well, it's just that, you know, Pippin. He's a member of your platoon, right? He's one of your grease lightning boys, right? Well, he's the one I pick. Bo, and the bet is on for the big spread at the Go-Go Club. Yeah, but, Bo started, frantically trying to recalculate his disastrous plan. No buts. Bo, it's Pippin, or no race, Sting Ramsey declared, his face splitting into a triumphant grin. Bo was trapped. He swallowed hard. Okay, I'll go with Pippin. He was practically in tears. Internally, this was a nightmare. Later that night, Bo Montgomery, Lancer Dixon, and Archie Finch gathered on the training track. Percy Pippin, confused but eager, stood ready for another time trial. You see, Pippin, Bo explained, his voice strained, we really should try another time trial tonight. After all, the big race is tomorrow. It's concise. I'll start you. Yeah, Percy beamed. So do just like you did the other night. Captain, ready? Go. Percy rocketed off. Lancer, watching Percy's impossibly fast sprint, shook his head. Just like I've been figuring. Captain, there's something fishy here. Get out your chronotype. Come on, Pippin, put on a rip, Bo urged. How's his time, Dick? He's even faster than before. Captain, Lancer gasped. He ain't pulling a big, strong finish now. Bo checked his own timer. Got his time, Dixon. Well, how is it? Lancer looked up, a look of profound worry on his face. Either this chronotimer is busted, Captain, or we're all going to be. He's that good, huh? Bo asked, a flicker of genuine hope igniting. Can Private O'Malley take him, Lancer? Lancer shook his head. Never. Captain, Pippin's just too fast. It looks like you're finally gonna win one. Captain, and a big one. We're gonna be rich. What a rotten trick, Sting Ramsey muttered from a nearby hidden observation point. He had followed Bo, suspecting foul play. Getting sucked in by that marked roster. And the worst of it is to think that a chowderhead like Pippin is gonna be the one to do it. Well, they were about due for a fall. No, wait. Sting suddenly snapped his fingers. Hold the communits. That's it. We can still win. Because Pippin is a chowderhead. All his strength is in his feet. He's got nothing upstairs. So what, Captain? His aide asked. So, he'll believe anything. Leave it to me. I'm about to knock him off with some psychological warfare. Come on. Sting Ramsey marched off, a cunning glint in his eye. Meanwhile, Bow was patting Percy on the shoulder. Nice going, Pippin. Now, back to the barracks. Pippin, and get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's the big one. I'll run the equipment back to the rec hub for you if you want me to. Captain, Percy offered. No. Save your strength for the big one tomorrow, Pip. Bo insisted. You're gonna need every bit of it. Right, Captain? Whatever you say. Good night, Percy chirped, heading for the barracks. Good night, Pippin, Bo called after him. He turned to Lancer and Archie. How about that, Vince? He was all set to run it again. And tomorrow's gonna be a beautiful day. With a runner like that, I ain't settling for no steak dinner. First thing in the morning, we start picking up all the bets we can get. We're gonna clean up on Ramsey. The Go-Go Club will be swimming in credits. Just then, Lancer pointed to a discarded sin cigar butt glowing faintly near the track. Hey, look at that, Captain! Some prize knucklehead's getting awful. Killers. Bo frowned, picking it up. What is it? It's still warm, Lancer said. Somebody was just out here watching, maybe clocking Pippin. Bo sniffed a cigar, but not just somebody, Lancer. Can't you smell that? That's one of them crooked sin cigars that Sting Ramsey smoked. He prefers the ones from the Gamma Quadrant. They have a distinctive odor. Sting Ramsey, Archie gasped. Then he knows how fast Pippin is. Yeah. Well, still, what can he do about it now? Lancer scoffed. All he knows is that he's beaten fair and square. Not Sting Ramsey, Dixon. He don't play square like we do. He'll try to come up with some crooked trick. He'll pull some psychological tactic out of his dirty tricks locker. You wait and see. Well, like what, Captain? Archie asked, worried. Bo pondered, rubbing his chin. Let's see. If I was Sting Ramsey, and I knew Pippin could win it, what would I do? How would I try to mess with that simple Hickenlooper prime mind of his? The next morning, Percy Pippin was humming to himself as he shined his grav boots for the big race, excited to represent his platoon. Just as he finished, Colonel Sterling Sting Ramsey appeared in the barracks doorway, looking unusually solemn. How are you, Percy? Sting Ramsey's voice was uncharacteristically gentle, almost mournful. Are you looking for Captain Montgomery? No, Colonel. Percy started, then frowned at Sting's somber demeanor. I was gonna go to the Holoflix, but, well, I wouldn't enjoy myself now. Sting Ramsey nodded, a profound sadness etched on his face. You wouldn't. No, you couldn't. Percy, you'll understand when you're a colonel. Percy, when one of your men is about to suffer great sorrow and humiliation, there's no laughter in the galaxy for you either. Percy's brow furrowed in confusion. One of your... who, Colonel? Private Charlie whispering Willow O'Malley, Sting Ramsey announced, his voice heavy with false despair. Sweet, trusting Charlie whispering Willow O'Malley, the very champion of our platoon in this foot race. What's wrong with Charlie? Percy asked, instantly concerned. Nothing now, Percy, but, well, I hate to think what'll happen tomorrow. If somehow he should happen to lose that race against you, you know you're running against him in the big match today. You mean that foot race? Percy asked, relieved. Why, that's just a little sport and contest, Colonel. Surely Charlie won't mind if he doesn't win. You still get dinner at the Go-Go Club, I reckon. To you, Percy, Sting Ramsey said, shaking his head slowly, but not to Charlie. You know that Charlie Whispering Willow O'Malley has served out his full hitch, and in a few more days, he'll be leaving the Starstone Marines. Percy nodded. Yes, sir. He's going back to his people. Then he goes back to the lodges of his fathers, deep in the pine forests of Jichigumi Prime. Sting Ramsey continued, his voice dripping with dramatic sorrow. But what a tragedy. Percy, if the last memory of this noble descendant of ancient Earth's indigenous peoples has of service for his great white captains in Washington's sector is that of failure and defeat, do you know what pride means to the noble descendants of the Red Man? Percy, especially Whispering Willow O'Malley, who wants so badly to be a legend in his tribe. Percy, a deeply sympathetic soul, was practically on the verge of tears. But he's good. He's fast. Colonel, what makes you think he won't win? Percy's eyes welled up. Well, Colonel Ramsey, are you trying to tell me that I should let him win? Sting Ramsey pulled back, a look of profound moral distress on his face. It's not for me to say, Percy. It's for you to search your own heart and decide. But let me remind you that if you win, it's only a little sporting contest. You'd gain nothing but a transient trophy and a fleeting moment of self-control. Sting leaned in again, his voice dropping to a theatrical whisper. But if Whispering Willow O'Malley wins, Percy, you will have given dignity, pride, and meaning to his life. At the moment he needs it most, as he reluctantly sets aside the uniform of his adopted country. He will carry the weight of victory back to his people. It will define him. Meanwhile, Beau Montgomery, Lancer, and Archie had been covertly listening from a nearby airlock, horror dawning on their faces. Beau, you don't think he tried a psychological tactic on Pippin, do you? Lancer whispered. I don't know, Dixon, Beau growled, but I do know he'll be trying something. The conniving snake. You think he might try to rough him up? Archie asked, worried. Or just to be on the safe side, Dixon mused. One of us better stay close to Pippin, escort him right to the race time today. He can't get into any more trouble now, not before I clean up on Ramsey's foolishness. Back in the barracks, Sting Ramsey had moved into his It's an opportunity that few of us have in our lifetime. Percy, a rare opportunity for true self. It has been written that sometimes a man can truly win by losing. Percy nodded slowly, captivated by the drama. That's what my daddy always says. Colonel, anybody can be a good winner, but it takes a lot to be a good loser. A wise man. Your father, Percy, Sting Ramsey murmured, suppressing a triumphant grin. Percy, I'm only asking you to do what's right. Must this man go back to his tribe, smarting with defeat, to be scorned and laughed at? Must he sit by the ashes of the cooking fires with the to gnaw on bones and table scraps they tossed to him, all because of your pride? Percy went. The image was too much. No, Percy, Sting Ramsey urged, his voice reaching a crescendo. By your good deed, by your generosity of spirit, will he return with head held high, feathers in the wind, to lead a long, happy, useful life for many moons to come, until at long last he goes to the happy hunting ground, and the legend of Charlie Whispering Willow O'Malley will be told with respect around the council fires for generations to come. Think it over. Son, I know it won't be easy, but I know you'll do the right thing. With a final, profound nod, Sting Ramsey turned and strode out, leaving Percy a quivering, emotionally devastated mess. We better get in there and straighten Pippin out, Lancer exclaimed, ready to burst into the barracks. Wait a minute, Dixon Beau commanded, grabbing his arm. It's not going to be that easy. If there's one thing I know, it's how Pippin's mind works. That stuff Sting Ramsey was handing him, that's just what Pippin eats up. A chance to help out a poor, deserving, unfortunate. He lives for that. Yeah, but we could explain the whole thing, Captain, Archie protested. Explain what? Finch, Beau retorted, his mind racing. That we want to clean up making bets on him. You know, Pippin and gambling, we tell him we're betting on him. He'll think we're being dishonorable. So we're back in the red again. No, Beau tapped his temple, a cunning new plan already forming. Now that we know Sting Ramsey has the race fixed, and that Pippin intends to throw it, we can ride along on his deceit, and clean up, too. Lancer and Archie exchanged confused glances. Yeah, Bo declared, his eyes gleaming with Machiavellian glee. Now, here's what you do first. Let the news leak out that Pippin is terrific. Let him spread it around just how fast he is, so some outsiders can get in on the action and bet on him. You got it, Dixon. Yeah, Captain. And then we switch over to the Indian, Bo explained, lowering his voice conspiratorially. I want all the bets we can get down by race time tomorrow. Put right smack on that noble descendant of the Red Man. That way, Pippin gets his good deed, Ramsey loses, and I get my money back. A triple victory, Pippin style. Bo Montgomery rubbed his hands together, convinced he had finally outmaneuvered Sting Ramsey and, more importantly, Pippin's innate ability to cause chaos. The Starstone encampment's running track was packed with eager spectators, both Marine personnel and various off-base visitors drawn by the rumors of a high-stakes, dramatic foot race. The air crackled with anticipation. Colonel Sterling Sting Ramsey, supremely confident. Captain Bo Montgomery stood with a fidgeting Percy Pippin. On your marks, gentlemen. The automated starter droned. Get set. Go. The two runners exploded from the starting blocks. Whispering Willow O'Malley, a seasoned and powerful runner, took an immediate lead. But Percy Pippin, all long limbs and unexpected power, quickly drew even, then surged ahead. And may the best man win, Bo muttered under his breath, a pure sportsman's veneer masking his frantic internal Keep an eye on him, Lancer. Right? Captain Lancer yelled, clutching his communicator. Thanks. You think Pippin's going to go through with it? Archie asked nervously. Bo scowled. That's not a nice way to put it, Finch. It's an act of human kindness and self. And Pippin does a lot of them things. He does. Now, get some more dough down on the yellow bear. Lancer, he's definitely winning. The runners were already rounding the first bend. Percy was a good 10 yards ahead of Whispering Willow O'Malley, who was running powerfully but just couldn't match Percy's astounding, almost otherworldly, pace. Come on, Pippin. Let her rip, Bo cheered, trying to keep up appearances. Lancer, watching the race unfold, suddenly yelled into his community. How did he win, Captain? Pippin's in front by yards. Captain. Bo cursed under his breath. If he's just making it look good, don't worry, Lancer. He's just putting on a show. Pippin's still in front. Pippin's still ahead. Captain, Archie yelled, genuinely concerned. He's widening the gap. He's just making it look good. Finch, don't worry, Bo shouted back, his own conviction wavering. He'll tire out. The runners came past the motor pool, their strides even and powerful. Pippin's still out in front. Captain, Lancer yelled, his voice strained. Pippin's still ahead by a good 10 yards. I don't like it, Captain. Bo clutched his stomach. Pippin is still leading. What in the name of the galactic void is going on? He tried to regain composure. The only thing that counts is the finish, Dixon. And believe me, poor little Whispering Willow O'Malley will get the blue ribbon, and I'll get the bundle of credits from Sting Ramsey. Well, Pippin better start fading fast. Captain, Archie shouted. They're on their way back. Here they come. The two runners were now sprinting down the final straightaway, the finish line, with its electronic bell looming. Percy, still leading by a comfortable margin, looked completely fresh, as if he'd just started. Whispering Willow O'Malley, though powerful, was starting to show signs of strain. Come on, Pippin, give it to them, Bo bellowed, feigning support for Percy, but mentally urging O'Malley to pick up the pace. Sting Ramsey, who had a huge grin on his face watching Percy seemingly dominate, suddenly noticed Bo yelling for O'Malley. His grin vanished. Hey, what's the idea, Bo? You're yelling for my guy. Bo, incandescent with fury, and a sudden realization that his cunning plan was backfiring spectacularly. Well, if you must know, wise guy, Bo spat. I'm onto that story you gave Pippin. Not only did it affect him, but it made me puddle up, too. The plight of the noble Red Man, losing his dignity. So I put a bundle of credits on Whispering Willow O'Malley, and now it looks like he's losing. You deceitful multi-limbed serpent. Sting Ramsey's jaw dropped. Thanks a lot, old buddy. You're gonna make me a rich man. He had anticipated Pippin throwing the race, so he'd bet heavily on O'Malley. He suddenly started yelling for Percy. Go. Pippin, keep up that speed. Of course. You're gonna win a steak dinner, Ramsey, Boast, but I'm gonna clean up on a bunch of outside bets for my guy. My integrity is saved. Just then, Percy Pippin crossed the finish line first, shattering all previous encampment records, and triumphantly rang the electronic bell. Whispering Willow O'Malley crossed several seconds later, exhausted but with a respectful nod to Percy. "Hey, Pippin, here's the finish," Lancer yelled, cheering. "You rang the bell for the captain, just like you said." Percy, utterly delighted with his performance, beamed at the thunderstruck bow. "You don't have to worry any more about Private Charlie," whispering Willow O'Malley. Sting Ramsey, his face a mask of dawning horror as he realized his bets were worthless, could only stammer, "What? What did you do, Pippin?" "I had a talk with him right before we had the race, Colonel," Percy explained, glowing with moral rectitude. "And I told him now that he had a fine colonel like you worrying about all his problems, and about him losing his dignity back to his people, that he ought to stay in the Starstone Marines. So guess what? He's gonna and he's going to be so happy here, Colonel." Bo Montgomery swayed on his feet, feeling faint. His entire world was imploding. "Well, one more thing, Colonel," Percy continued, completely oblivious. "Come on, Charlie. Let's get on the boat to dinner. Charlie." Bo Montgomery just stood there, staring after the beaming Percy and the respectfully smiling Charlie O'Malley, his financial dreams in tatters, his rival now owing him nothing, and his own sanity hanging by the thinnest, most fragile of threads. He was bankrupt, both financially and emotionally, thanks to Percy Pippin. Chapter 9. The Astromumps and the Accidental Plague. "What a nightmare," Captain Beauregard Montgomery muttered, staring blankly at a pile of overdue bills on his desk. His head was throbbing with an intensity usually reserved for direct plasma hits. "It'll be 6 months before I can pay off all the dough I lost in that race. 6 months of rockstigs and recycled synth." Lancer Dixon, equally disconsolate, kicked at an empty data crate. "Well, you should get a dinner out of it, Captain. You technically won, didn't you?" "Who can eat Dixon?" Bo groaned, burying his face in his hands. "Private Presky came by twice this morning looking for that 50-credit chip I borrowed from him, and I haven't even paid the Go-Go Club yet. This is a disaster." Bo slammed his fist on the desk. "Come on, Dixon. Hold that, Pippin. You'll never get a chance to cross me again. You'll hear me? Not if I can help it." He was now consumed by a fresh wave of Pippin-induced paranoia. "Hey, Captain, some guys are following us," Archie Finch yelled from the barracks corridor. "One of them looks like Presky and his collection enforcement team." "Come on," Bo snapped, scrambling to hide. "Here." He dove behind a stack of oversized spare. "This ought to do it. We'll wait here, Dixon. They'll never see us in the shadows of the night, not with 10 years of camouflage training." "Yeah, I was just looking for you, Captain. What are you doing out here in the bushes?" Bo swore, then slowly emerged from his hiding place, glaring at Percy. "How did you know we were out here, Pip?" Percy beamed, pointing proudly. "Hey, Captain, it worked just swell. Private Charlie whispering Willow O'Malley here's been teaching me how to track just like the indigenous peoples do on his home planet. And I tracked you right here to this place. I did. Here you are." He presented Bo to a no-smirking Presky, who was already holding out a hand for his credits. "Oh, how about that, Captain? How about that?" Bo just closed his eyes, his internal monologue dissolving into a primal scream. A few cycles later, the relentless pace of military life offered no respite for Captain Bo Montgomery's frayed nerves or depleted wallet. He was back in the exercise chamber, trying to force some semblance of physical training onto his often in. "How about it, Captain?" Lancer Dixon asked, trying to distract Bo. "You ready for another grueling session?" "Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute, Lancer," Bo replied, rubbing his temples. "Crazy. Or is it hot in here?" He found himself with a stray "I don't think so, Captain," Archie said, looking around. "The environmental controls are reading optimal atmospheric pressure and temperature." Bo touched his forehead. "Well, you're not coming down with anything, are you, Vince?" Lancer asked, concerned. "I don't know, Dixon. I feel kind of flushed. It's just probably something I ate in that cosmic pizza last night. Better yet, maybe that alien beer last night. The one with the glowing foam. What do you remember, Lancer?" "I don't know." "Oh boy." Bo suddenly swayed. "You okay, Captain?" Archie asked, worried. "Yeah, I'm okay," Bo grumbled, trying to rally. All right, you men. Come on, move it, Move it! Move it! Come on! You got a mustard out of me, bulldogs. Let's go. Move. 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 His voice, however, cracked mid. He clutched his throat. All right. Listen up. Here's the way the rest of the day shapes up. At 13:30, and I mean 13:30 sharp, you will all be at... He paused, feeling a wave of dizziness. Percy Pippin, who had been diligently observing from the sidelines, stepped forward, his face etched with concern. You feeling bad, Captain? Huh, I'm right, ain't I? I can tell you, being as flushed as you are, it's a sure sign of a fever. Bo glared at Percy. Knock it off, Pippin. When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. And not a moment before. Understood? All right, Captain. Sorry, Percy responded, his face falling. All right, Bo continued, trying to focus. Now, at 13:30 sharp, he felt another wave of light. What is it now, Pippin? Bo growled, when Percy edged closer, eyes fixed on his ear. Excuse me, Captain, but if I could just feel your ears for a few cycles, I could tell whether you have a fever in just a second. That's the way you tell about fever, by the ears, not the forehead like most. I'll knock it off. Pippin, you're in formation. You're going to get an infraction for breaking rank during an official assembly. Bo. Right, Captain. Percy snapped to attention, but still craned his neck, eyeing Bo's ears with profound medical curiosity. She does look fresh, though. Don't you, Captain? Do you know what Grandma Pippin used to do for a fever? Captain, Percy began, addressing Archie, but clearly intending the information for Bo. She'd take a clove of space garlic and 2 licks of sage oil and... If I take anything, Pippin, Bo interrupted, his voice ominously low, it's gonna be that PFC stripe off your collar. You are in attention. You don't move a muscle. Not one single muscle. Do you hear me? Right, Captain, Percy snapped, rigidly straight, his ears twitching, as if straining to detect any nuance of fever. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Bo murmured, trying to remember his schedule. Now, at 13:30 sharp, you will proceed to Building G, the training simulation block. Excuse me, Captain, Percy interjected, rigid at attention, but speaking through barely parted lips. Well, I told you not to move a muscle, and no talking, Bo thundered. What is it? But I can't hear you. Captain, do you hear me, Captain? Percy spoke with a peculiar, high-pitched vocal tremor, designed, apparently, to make up for Bo's perceived inability to hear. No, Captain, not too well. I'm sorry. See, if we both can't hear you, then you're bound to be sick. Bo stared at him, bewildered. Huh, as bad as you sound. You look even worse. Don't you think he looks bad, Archie? Just look at his mouth. It's so pale. Archie, Lancer, and Elmo all looked genuinely concerned. Captain, maybe you ought to check in at the healing citadel to make sure. Huh, Lancer suggested. I'll take over here. About. Bo felt a new wave of faintness. Yeah, maybe you're right, Lancer. I'm feeling worse by the minute. Yeah, I'll be back as soon as I can. He started to walk off, holding his head. It's for the best, Captain. It really is. Percy called after him. Just ask them to feel your ears and see if that doesn't. Pipping, Bo's distant roar echoed down the corridor. Captain Bo Montgomery checked into the healing citadel, convinced he had a nasty case of interstellar flu. He settled into his private room, luxuriating in the silence. It was a vacation, albeit an involuntary one. I hope there ain't nothing serious, Captain, Percy said to Archie later, genuinely worried. Archie shook his head. Don't worry about it, Pippin. He'll be fine. Just a nasty bug. But he does look bad. Archie, Percy insisted, a solemn expression on his face. He looks just like my Aunt Serena did the cycle she went down to have her ear implants replaced. Pippin, Archie yelled, feeling a strange surge of Bo's familiar exasperation. Just go about your duties. The captain will be fine. Several cycles later, Percy was still making regular, unsolicited visits to the healing citadel, much to Bo's chagrin. One afternoon, he found Archie near Bo's now isolated room. Excuse me, Corporal Dixon? Percy asked. What is it, Pippin? Archie groaned, seeing Percy's bright, worried face. About Captain Montgomery. Have you heard anything yet? Has the doctor updated his charts? As a matter of fact, I have, Archie replied. his voice deliberately neutral. The medical droid just called. It was a fever spell. Right. Is that what it was? Percy asked, desperate to confirm his ear diagnosis theory. No, Pippin, Archie said slowly, bracing himself. Captain Montgomery's got himself a case of astromumps. Percy gasped, eyes wide. How'd he ever get a thing like that? Those usually only break out on the lower gravity planets. I don't know, Pippin, but I got to hustle over to the healing citadel with some of this stuff and maybe try and cheer him up, Archie said, gathering Bo's personal holoprojector and his favorite synth coffee blend. He must be feeling pretty miserable. By all means, Corporal, you do that? Percy exclaimed. Astromumps. My poor Captain Montgomery. If there's anything I can do to help, just say the word. I'll tell you what you can do, Pippin, Archie said, suddenly seeing an escape route for himself. You can get back to work on the double, so I can give the captain a good report about how well the first platoon is managing without him. Okay, he'll love that. Yes, sir. Tell Captain Montgomery not to worry. Percy saluted smartly. Everything will be raked up real nice. I'll see to it myself. And be sure and tell the captain my deepest best wishes. Tell him it seems like he's been gone for days instead of just hours. I miss his booming voice. I do. I'll see that Captain Montgomery gets all your heartfelt messages. Pippin, Archie muttered, and hurried off, eager to deliver the news about Bo's diagnosis. At the healing citadel, Archie approached Bo's isolation room, pausing at the security scanner. A chirpy medical droid appeared. You can't go in there. If you want to talk to him, go around this way and use the communit by the viewing window. Yes, ma'am, Archie sighed, accustomed to the protocol. And don't stay too long. I won't. I'll just be a minute. It's imperative. He asked for these items. Hi, Vince. Archie greeted Bo, who was lying in bed, hooked up to a few diagnostic monitors. I brought some of your stuff over. Bo, however, looked surprisingly chipper. He was relaxing with a book. Hey, Archie, you don't look too unhappy. I'm not, Bo declared, grinning. In fact, you look like you're enjoying yourself. Is this what Astromumps does to you? I am, Archie. Bo laughed, a genuinely hearty sound that hadn't been heard from him in weeks. I'm enjoying the Astromumps immensely. Well, let me put it to you this way, Archie. If you had your choice between a 1 atmospheric temperature with Percy Pippin hovering over you, and a normal temperature with no Percy Pippin anywhere in sight, which would you take? Archie nodded knowingly. I see what you mean, Captain. It's a vacation away from Pippin, so you have to pay for it with a little fever. I may even write a book, Bo declared. Astromumps can be fun. I'm thinking of a serialized How long are you going to be in? Do you know, Cap? Archie asked, genuinely curious. Not long enough, Archie Bo sighed, still smiling. If I'm lucky, I'll catch something else and continue the vacation for several more stellar cycles, perhaps a rare orbital virus. I saw Pippin just before I came here, Captain, Archie said. He wanted me to give you his best wishes. You want to hear what he said? Please, Archie, not while I'm Bo groaned, his eyes flicking open. Just the sound of his name can raise my internal temperature. Archie paused. He said you were the best, and he misses your booming voice terribly. He even said your platoon misses you, Captain. Bo rolled his eyes. Great. I think my temperature just went up 2 degrees. The psychological effect of that Marine. Well, I'd better be getting back, Captain Archie said, rising. Take it easy, Vince. Oh, I will. Archie, Bo replied, waving languidly from his bed, completely at peace. The peace, however, was short. A rustling sound at the viewing window made Bo's eyes snap open. Captain, are you awake? Percy's cheerful voice, magnified slightly by the communit, broke the serene silence. What is it, Pippin? Bo barked, his eyes wide with a familiar horror. It's me, Percival. How did you get in here? I walked in, Captain. There wasn't anybody at the front desk, so I figured it's all right to be right here by the door. Well, it ain't all right, Pippin. Go on. Get out of here. This minute. This second. Pippin. Can't you read signs? I'm in quarantine. I've got the astromumps. Even a knucklehead like you should know what that means. It's highly contagious. Oh, don't you worry about me, Percy chirped, completely undeterred. I never do catch anything. My constitution is like that of an unbreakable meteor. My immune system is genetically fortified on Hickenlooper Prime. All I know is you better get out of here, Pippin. Fast. On the double, Bo roared, practically leaping out of bed. Yes, sir. I know just how you feel, Captain, Percy said, completely misinterpreting Bo's rage. I know how awful a person can get when they're sick as you. That's the reason I brought you these treats. Grandma Pippin's special multi-fiber snack bars. Percy pushed a tray towards the viewing window. Well, you should have left them outside, Pippin, Bo seethed. Now, just drop them and get out of here. They could be contaminated. Oh, no! Captain, these are my favorite, Percy insisted. You just see how they brighten up your room, and I brought you this hollow book. Captain, up the Yellowstone with rod and reel. A space salmon fishing extravaganza. It's all about salmon. It is. Out, 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 Pippin, Bo screamed, pointing frantically at the door, scattering the snack bars. Yes, Captain. Percy retreated slightly. Oh, and now these can't hurt you on account of their old fruit centers. Captain. Pippin, get out of here. Bo was at the window, slamming his hand against the glass. Just get out. Keep your chin up. Captain, the main thing is to get plenty of rest and don't let nothing excite you. Percy called cheerfully as he finally made his departure, leaving a bewildered and apoplectic Bo Montgomery staring after him. 3 cycles later, Bo was still in isolation, his astromumps persisting, a convenient shield against the constant barrage of Pippin-induced chaos. But out in the barracks, things were beginning to get a little tense. Excuse-me, Corporal Dixon, Percy asked, approaching Lancer, who was trying to catch up on Bo's paperwork. Not again, Pippin, Lancer groaned, dropping his date. I know you're busy trying to catch up on your reports and everything, but you were just wondering how Captain Montgomery is making out, right? What is it this time? Well, golly, it's been 3 days, Captain. Horrible, Percy corrected himself. That's right, Pippin, Lancer said, rubbing his temples. Like I said yesterday and the day before, he's doing fine. Just fine. Now get out of here. I have too much paperwork to deal with. I sure am glad to hear that, Percy chirped. As a matter of fact, he's due out of the healing citadel tomorrow morning. Lancer stared at him, hopeful. Tomorrow morning. Really? Yeah, not a minute too soon as far as I'm concerned. Pippin Lancer muttered, half to himself. This paperwork is driving me mad. Good. Percy beamed. Well, I would be glad to see him. I would. It's not that you're not doing a fine job in this place. Corporal, you are doing real fine. It's just that, well, you're not, Captain Montgomery. But then, who is? Nobody has his authoritative stride, his command presence, his ability to tell off multi-limbed grifters with such grace. Get back to work on the floor, buffers. Pippin, Lancer growled, his own patience worn to a thin membrane. I got a lot of work to do. Right, Corporal, you wouldn't be bothering you, Percy said, as he moved away, then paused. I'm begging your pardon, but do you feel all right, Corporal Dixon? Yeah, I'm fine. Pippin, Lancer snapped. Just a little beat, maybe. The paperwork, you know? I guess that's it, Percy announced with conviction. That's what? Lancer asked, annoyed. The reason you look so flushed, Corporal Dixon, Percy declared. Not feverish, mind you. Just flushed. Yeah, and I could tell a lot better if I could feel your ears. No, Pippin, Lancer exclaimed, slapping away Percy's reaching hand. Just get out of here, and stop looking at my ears. That's an invasion of privacy. Percy merely backed away, a knowing look on his face. He seemed to understand something Lancer didn't, and it made Lancer distinctly uneasy. The next morning, the barracks erupted in a cacophony of sneezes, coughs, and low moans. Percy, however, was blissfully unaffected. Hey fellas, wait till you hear the news. Percy burst in, a ray of sunshine into the misery. Just wait till you hear the news. I just talked to Corporal Dixon, and Captain Montgomery's all better, and he's going to get out of the healing citadel first thing in the morning. A few groans and weak, that's good news, could be heard from various bunks. Well, I'm surprised at you fellas, Percy chided gently, making light of a man that's been in the hospital for 3 cycles, especially a man like Captain Montgomery. That ain't right. I'm sorry, Percy Archie muttered from his bunk, looking sickly. It's just that I don't feel so red-hot myself. I haven't been feeling too well either, I reckon. My head feels kind of funny. I'm warm all over. Lancer Dixon, from a neighboring bunk, groaned. I do. I know. You want to feel my ears, right? Well, here, Pippin, feel my ears. Just for the love of the cosmic void. Tell me what's wrong with me. He offered up a limp ear. Percy felt it carefully. Ah, that didn't work. He looked disappointed. You don't have it in your ears. Probably yours. Just then, the barracks door opened. Captain Beauregard Montgomery stood there, looking much refreshed. A crisp, clean uniform on, and a triumphant smirk on his face. First platoon, fall in. Come on. Move it. Move it, he bellowed, his voice clear and resonant. The groans from the bunks intensified. No one moved. Beau frowned. Captain Montgomery, you're back, Percy cried, rushing forward and trying to shake his hand, which Beau deftly avoided. It sure is good to see you, Captain. You're looking awful good, Captain, considering a little peaky around the face, maybe a little pale, but mostly good. Pippin, where is everybody? What is this lack of discipline? Beau demanded, surveying the motionless bunks. You look like you've lost weight, Pippin, but that's natural. It is. It's just perfectly natural. An active man like you gets laid up, and his juices just play heck with Pippin, where is everybody? What's going on? Percy's face lit up with sympathetic understanding. Oh, that's right. Captain, I guess you don't know, do you? Don't know what, Pippin? Beau paced furiously. Everybody's down with the astro mumps, Captain, just like you had. Even Corporal Dixon, Percy announced mournfully. They all woke up this morning feeling sick and sore all over. I never saw anything like it. I didn't. Beau froze, a profound, sickening realization dawning on him. The handshakes, the purposeful exposure, his own devilishly clever scheme. So that's what all the excitement was about. Beau muttered, his voice barely a whisper. They must have been checking in when I was checking out. That conniving little reptilian part of my brain. It's all gone wrong. He is a shame, Captain, isn't it? Percy lamented. A whole platoon coming down with the ass. They say that somebody carried it right into the platoon, and everybody caught it from this carrier. Beau spun to face Percy, his face ashen carrier. Then how come you're not sick, Pip? You're the one that shakes everybody's hands and touches everything. Me. Percy looked genuinely puzzled. Ooh, I never catch nothing. My immune system, you know. Beau stared at his last, uninfected Marine, the sole, upright figure in his plague-ridden platoon. And you're the only one here, Pippin. That's right, Captain. Percy beamed, completely unaware of the horrifying implications for his commanding officer. Looks like for the next few cycles, it's just you and me, Captain. Just you and me, together, as a team. Beau Montgomery just stood there, staring into the bright, cheerful, uninfected face of Percy Pippin, his personal nightmare incarnate. He had created his own doom. He had engineered his own suffering, and now he was doomed to face it. Head just him and Percy. Chapter 10. The unbearable solitude of Sergeant Carter and the peril of perpetual proximity. Attention. Captain Beauregard Montgomery bellowed, his voice resonating through the eerily quiet barracks, a ghost of its usual cacophony. Percy Pippin, his sole active duty subordinate, stood rigidly at attention, his beaming face the only sign of life in the empty room. We got a lot to do today, Pip. So I want you to... Beau stopped, pinching the bridge of his nose. The sheer absurdity of the situation hit him again. A full platoon, reduced to a two-man operation. It's just you and me, Pippin. Beau sighed, the fight draining out of him. There's no use in me reading off the program for the day. It's just everything. But I'll be glad to listen. Captain, if it'll make you feel any better. Percy offered, his eagerness palpable. I've got a lot of good listening in me. I do. Forget it, Pippin, Beau muttered, gesturing tiredly. At ease, Pippin. Just try not to stand quite so close to me. Okay. Just then, his community buzzed. Beau answered, forcing a professional tone. First, platoon. Captain Montgomery speaking. Oh, yes, sir, Colonel Sterling. The efficiency reports. Well, sir, yes, sir, I understand. You'll have them by tonight, sir. He terminated the call, then muttered, confound that. Sting Ramsey, always with the perfect timing. Suddenly, another Marine appeared in the doorway, a harried-looking junior officer clutching a stack of data. Excuse me? Captain Montgomery, sir, for leaving formation prematurely. But Lieutenant General Vex gave me these inventory report. Blanks. He wants them filled out and returned to him by tomorrow noon. Captain. Bo stared at the stack, then at the empty barracks, then at the beaming Percy. He groaned. He looked at Percy. Pippin. Percy's eyes lit up. Huh. Do what? Captain, I'd be glad to do anything. Fill out these forms. Pip. Bo snapped, thrusting the data pads into his hands. You wanted to help. Now you can. Be glad to. All you have to do is tell me how many energy cells are in locker bay 7. And then record how many nutrient paste tubes were consumed in the mess hall last cycle, and how many grav boots are currently functional. Percy listened, utterly delighted. Never mind. Bo suddenly barked, realizing the sheer complexity of the task for Percy's literal mind. Where's Private Higgins? He's the smart one when it comes to inventory. Well, he's in the healing citadel, Captain, with all the others. Percy reminded him cheerfully. Don't you remember? He's got a very bad case of the astro mumps, too. Not as bad as Corporal Dixon's, mind you. He's barely coherent. Bo let out a frustrated growl. I'll get it, Pippin! I'll get it done myself. Just get out of my office and don't make me any more inventories. Percy, however, had already reached the barracks intercom system. So, get it. Captain. Big deal. First, Platoon PFC. Percival Pippin speaking for Captain Montgomery. Yes, ma'am. I sure will. Thank you for calling. Bye. He turned back to Bo. That was Lieutenant Klinger, over in the healing citadel. Captain, she's missing some of Corporal Dixon's personal medical records. 3rd drawer. Right in the front. That's where they always keep the records of the most rambunctious recruits, she said. Bo slapped his forehead. Right, Pippin. Get those medical records to the healing citadel, and make sure she finds them. Now, I'll take it over there myself, if it's okay, Captain. Percy offered enthusiastically. I'd be more than happy to. Take him over. Take him over. Just go, Bo commanded, waving his hands frantically. Right, Captain. It's a pleasure. Percy saluted, grabbing the community. Anything I can ever do to help you out. It's always a pleasure. Especially now that you're so hard-pressed with the whole platoon out sick. I just want to be of use. Percy paused at a doorway, a thoughtful expression on his face. And, Captain... Yeah, Pippin, Bo growled, already feeling a migraine forming. I just want you to know how thrilled I am to be working so close to you, Percy said, his voice brimming with sincere admiration. Yeah, I've learned a lot from you already, but not half as much as I'm going to learn for the rest of this cycle. What with you and me, and being all alone together like we are. Bo stared at Percy, the terrifying implication of Percy's enthusiasm washing over him. Alone. For an entire cycle. With Pip, he felt a cold dread settle in his stomach. Okay, Pippin. Okay. I get the message. Now get going. I got some real, honest-to-goodness work to do now. Not this inventory nonsense. Right, Captain? Percy chirped. And don't you worry, Captain. I'll be back to help you out before you know it. From now on, it's just you and me. Side to side. We're a team. Captain. He practically skipped out of the barracks. Bo sank into his chair, rubbing his face with both hands. Go, Pippin. Just go and stay gone for a bit. I need to regroup. I need to formulate a survival plan. Later, in the almost empty mess hall, Captain Bo Montgomery was glumly stirring a bowl of recycled algae slurry, his usual robust appetite completely gone. He was contemplating the existential dread of being the sole officer overseeing an incapacitated platoon. Captain, can I borrow the Percy's voice suddenly boomed from across the vast, empty hall. Bo jumped, splashing algae slurry on his uniform. Well, are you going to return it, Pippin? Or is it your own private stock now that the platoon's in the infirmary? Huh? The Zango chup? Percy looked confused, then spotted the bottle Bao was gesturing at. Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. Here you are, Captain. He darted across the hall, picked up the bottle, and brought it to Bo. Since there's just the two of us, do you mind if I join you? Percy asked, his eyes gleaming. That way it'll save all that hollering and icing and everything. Is it okay, Captain? Bo, too weary to protest, simply gestured vaguely to the seat opposite him. I suppose Pippin just... Try not to talk with your mouth full, okay? Percy sat down, promptly loaded his tray with various items, and began to eat with meticulous slowness. Bo, observing him, realized that not talking with his mouth full was not going to be the problem. "What are you doing now, Pip?" Bo finally asked, exasperated by the silence and the strange, rhythmic motion of Percy's jaw. "I was just counting, Captain," Percy explained, taking another slow bite. "How many times do you chew your food?" Bo stared. "I don't know, Pippin. I don't count. I just eat, like a normal human being, or a sensible multi-species alien, at any rate. Grandma Pippin says you should chew each mouthful of food 12 times before you swallow it," Percy solemnly informed him. "Anything less than 12 chews is bad for your digestive tract. You know that, Captain." Bo slammed his spoon down. "Pippin, a human being ain't like a primitive earth canine. A dog don't chew at all. He just swallows his food whole and lets his stomach do all the work. I remember once I had this old bird dog on Xylo's Prime, and he caught this wild space turkey, and he swallowed the whole thing. It was quite a spectacle. It was—" "Pippin, just eat your chow," Bo finally pleaded, his voice cracking. "Just eat your chow and knock it off. Okay, just silence for a few minutes. That's all I'm asking." "Oh, I am, Captain, I am," Percy insisted, resuming his rhythmic chewing. "I just like to take my time and enjoy it. You know, it sure seems strange. It does. It's just the two of us at this big old table, isn't it?" Bo simply nodded, shoveling another spoonful of algae slurry into his mouth. "Captain, you just chewed that 4 times," Percy stated, completely deadpan. Bo slammed his spoon down again. "Pippin, Grandma Pippin was wrong. If you don't chew it 12 times, Bo stood up abruptly, a low growl rumbling in his chest. "You're dismissed. Pippin, go. Get out. Just go." Percy's face crumpled. "How you could, Captain? How you could? Don't you know you'll leave me all alone with my thoughts?" "I'm sorry, Captain, but you said I didn't got anybody to preach in front of me." "Why? Well, watch my mouth, Pippin. I told you not to watch my mouth. You're dismissed," Bo roared, clutching his head. "How you could, Captain? How you could help me?" Percy's cries followed Bo as he stormed out of the mess hall, driven to the brink of utter insanity. The next morning, Bo was in his office, dreading another day of Pippin and me. He knew there would be inspections. They had to be done, even if it was just for a phantom platoon. "Well, tell him I'm ready for inspection, sir," Bo grumbled to the empty room. "I don't know why I'm even bothering, but, Captain, you gotta turn in a report to the General Lieutenant." Percy, standing stiffly at the entrance of Bo's office, repeated it, as if announcing it to the world. "All right, Captain. All right, it's okay, Pippin." Bo waved him in, resignation clear on his face. Bo then proceeded to inspect the empty barracks locker, methodically checking the non-existent items, muttering directives to an invisible platoon. Percy followed behind him, a mere image, nodding at every word, confirming every detail with an earnest hum. "Captain, the locker." Percy pointed out a slightly ajar locker, belonging to the Stilial Lancer Dixon. "It's okay, Pippin, as you were," Bo sighed, closing it himself. "Captain, is that all? We inspected everything." "We did," Percy asked, a slight disappointment in his voice. "Yes, Pippin, that's all. There isn't anybody else to inspect, is there?" Bo snapped. "But it sure went awful fast, Captain." "Well, there wasn't much to do," Bo retorted, glaring at the empty bunks. "Captain," Percy ventured, after a moment of thoughtful silence. "Ha! Let's do it again." Bo stared at him, aghast. "What? Pippin? Do you hear yourself? You want to do the inspection again? Just to kill some time?" Percy nodded vigorously. "We've got nothing but time, Captain, and we can make the inspection even more thorough this time. We can really get into the nitty-gritty of military order." Bo simply stared, utterly speechless, his mind reeling. Do it again. This was his life now. This was his reality. His astromumps, his money woes, his lost girlfriend, his defeated dignity. All were merely backdrops to the relentless, unwavering, completely innocent presence of Percy Pippin. A cycle or two later, Captain Bo Montgomery had made his escape from the healing citadel. The astromumps, despite his fervent wishes, had run its course. He was back, feeling slightly better, but deeply apprehensive. He found Lancer Dixon in his office, looking a little peaky, but thankfully, back to duty. "Hey, Hey, hi Vince, how you doing? Lancer greeted him, adjusting his uniform. You feeling okay? Bo rubbed his neck. Oh, not bad, not bad. Lancer, say, how are you getting along with your woman platoon, now that Pippin is all you've got? Lancer sighed dramatically. Don't ask, Capty. Just not bad. Huh, do you know what life is like with Pippin Dixon? Do you have any idea? Lancer, having experienced a brief but intense taste of Percy's unflagging attention, shivered. I can imagine. I heard about the chewing and the ears. It's worse than a horror movie, Lancer, Bo declared, his voice rising in an agitated crescendo. Every move I make, there he is, sticking to me like a multi-limbed galactic slug sticks to a plate of honey. And he never shuts up. Never, for a second. Not even when he's just thinking about silence. Now, why can't he be in there with the rest of you guys in the healing citadel? Lancer shrugged, looking tired. I don't know, Captain. I guess he's immune, like he said. Looks like he's just a carrier, and he never gets it himself. Bo grumbled, collapsing into his chair. Oh no, Lancer muttered. Then his eyes widened as a new thought struck him. Maybe he just wasn't exposed long enough. Captain. Bo paused. Yeah, that's it, Dixon. Huh. I was just thinking, Pippin can't have that much immunity, can he? I mean, with a bug like astromumps going around. Nobody's immune system should be that much better than anybody else's, right? Lancer nodded slowly. Well, Bo, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, Captain, do you blame me? Lancer, huh? No, you're the last sane man here. Do you blame me? Bo asked, his voice raw with desperation. What? Purposely exposing a guy to a case of the astromumps, Captain, Lancer said, looking uncomfortable. Come on, Vince. Who said anything like that? Dixon, Bo retorted, his eyes gleaming with a manic energy. I was just thinking he's bound to catch it sooner or later. So why not now? Huh, why not? Mothers on Hickenlooper Prime do it all the time. When one kid gets it, she exposes all the kids to it. That way, she doesn't have to go through all that trouble one kid at a time. It's efficient. It's responsible. Lancer just stared at Bo, a faint shudder running down his spine. Vince, you're as warm and human as they come. Captain Montgomery. Yeah, you might say that. Bo agreed, actually cracking a genuinely deranged smile. I mean, if Pippin has got to catch some astromumps, no use he should suffer alone, huh? Sharing is caring. Teamwork. Unity of purpose. Just then, a light knock sounded. Percy Pippin appeared in the doorway, his cheerful demeanor completely Captain, you wanted to see me? You just beamed. Captain, you did. Bo Montgomery looked at Lancer Dixon. Yes, I did, Pippin. Bo then gave Lancer a significant, pointed look, daring him to object. Captain, can I say what he was going to say? Lancer asked, still trying to grasp the situation. What is it, Pippin? Bo asked, ignoring Lancer. Well, I was just thinking, Captain, if I had your permission to move in here with you, in your quarters, then I'd save you all that running back and forth to the barracks every time you wanted me. It would be much more efficient. It would... Percy's face glowed with the brilliance of his latest ingenious plan. Huh, like in the mess hall when I sat down next to you. I was right there to pass you anything you wanted. The salt, the pepper, the zangochup. Remember how efficient that was, Captain? Bo, remembering his new nefarious scheme, actually smiled. Well, why not, Pippin? It'd be a lot more efficient now that Corporal Dixon's bed's in the barracks with everyone else. No one's using it. We have all this extra space, Pip. A Dixon's bed, dough. Yeah. Oh, okay. Pippin, that might be a good idea, Bo said, playing along, barely concealing his wicked grin. Look, I want to. Oh, thank you, Captain, Percy interrupted, practically vibrating with excitement. I just knew you got the idea, Captain. No, I think it's just great. Captain, you missed your bed over here. Percy gestured at Lancer's vacant bunk. Yes, that's my bed. Bo muttered, trying to keep up. Now, don't you sleep with your head facing towards the window, Captain. You always do. Percy noted. Oh, yes, I do, Pippin. What's your point? Then we'll have to switch the beds around, Captain, Percy declared, ever practical. Huh, you see, I sleep with my head facing exactly the other way. So if we switch the beds around, our heads will be facing each other, and that way we can talk without turning over. We're gonna be roommates. Isn't that swell, Captain? Bow's internal monologue screeched to a halt. The sheer, overwhelming, 24-hour intimacy of it all. He had wanted Pippin to get asked, but moving him into his personal quarters, this was beyond his wildest, most terrifying predictions. He pulled himself together. It was a means to an end. An unpleasant, deeply unnerving end, but an end nonetheless. Look, Pippin, on your way over to get your gear, do me a favor, will ya? Corporal Dixon wants me to send over this holonovel, The Adventures of Commander Torque. Run it over for him. Will ya? He said he was desperately bored and was talking about counting lint. I'll be glad to, Captain, Percy chirped. That's what I'm here for, to be useful. And, Pippin, look, Bo continued, his voice deliberately casual. That'll give you a chance to pay your respects to Lancer and Archie and all the gang in the Healing Citadel. A little morale boost for the sick. Yes, sir, Percy agreed, his eyes shining. That's real thoughtful of you, Captain. You always think of others. Yeah, just slip over and hand the holonovel to Dixon personally, will ya? Bo instructed, laying out the trap. Remember how you just walked in on me the other day in the Healing Citadel? Well, do the same thing, and give Dixon my best wishes. In fact, Pippin, shake hands with him. In fact, shake hands with the whole ward. That's a great morale-building exercise. A symbol of unity, Pippin. Percy's face glowed with utter admiration. Captain Montgomery, you just think of everything, don't you? What a wonderful idea it is. I try, Pippin, I try. Bo Montgomery watched Percy skip out, already planning the congratulatory remarks for his ingenious, if morally dubious, triumph. His ultimate vacation from Pippin, a long, glorious stretch of serene, Pippinless silence, was almost within his grasp. Chapter 11. The Shared Sickness and the Silver Lining. Percy Pippin, glowing with purposeful cheer, marched straight to the Healing Citadel. The automated entry door hissed open as he approached Corporal Lancer Dixon's isolated ward. Ignoring the numerous warning signs about infectious diseases, he bypassed a known-man front desk. He'd done it for Captain Montgomery, so he could certainly do it for Lancer. Cooper boy, Percy called out cheerfully as he entered the communal ward, which resembled a battlefield hospital for Astromump's patients. Groans and sniffles emanated from every bunk. Hey, Lancer! Hey! Feya! Lancer Dixon, pale and miserable in his bunk, looked up with glazed eyes, then squinted in disbelief. Pippin, how did you get in here anyway, you infectious maniac? Where quarantine? Well, I waited till the nurse droid left the desk out there. Lancer, Percy explained, completely unconcerned. On account of Captain Montgomery wanting me to give you this holonovel personally and give you his best wishes. And he said to give best wishes to all the fellas too. He thinks of you all. He does. Look, Pippin, you shouldn't have come in here, Lancer groaned, trying to push himself up. Yeah, go on, Pip. You'll get in trouble for breaking quarantine. Archie Finch moaned from a nearby bunk. This is an isolation ward. Oh, don't worry about me, Lancer, Percy assured him, patting Lancer's clammy forehead with a firm, comforting hand. I never get sick. My immune system. Remember. He handed Lancer the Well, here's your book, Lancer. And best wishes from Captain Montgomery. Best wishes to all of you, from Captain Montgomery. He loves you all, like you were his own platoon of... Percy then proceeded to make his way around the ward, cheerfully shaking the hands of every feverish coughing Marine he encountered, delivering Captain Montgomery's best wishes, with fervent sincerity and distributing untold quantities of Astromump's viral particle. Back in his office, Captain Bo Montgomery had just finished meticulously arranging Lancer Dixon's former bunk in his personal quarters, making sure it faced away from his own, just as Percy had insisted. He was practically humming, "Victory, a vacation, soon." Just then, Percy Pippin reappeared, bustling into the office, his usual effervescent self. Well, Captain, you did it a little for the book. You did. I just did exactly what you told me. I sure did, Captain. Percy beamed, oblivious to Bo's sudden, chilling apprehension. I sure did everything, and you gave it to Lancer personally, huh, Pippin? And did you shake hands with him and give him my best wishes, Pippin? Bo asked, trying to keep his voice casual, an evil scientist checking his experiment. I sure did, Captain, Percy exclaimed. And then after I visited with Lancer, I had a nice bedside visit with all the boys in the ward. I visited everyone. Well, now I'm shaking hands with everybody, Captain, Percy chirped, illustrating with a little miming motion. Oh, wonderful, Pippin, Bo said, his smile feeling rather fixed and strange. You're really committed to the morale-building exercise. Very brave of you. Well, Lancer seemed very nervous about it, though, Percy mused, frowning slightly. He said that the Dr. Droid told him there wasn't no such thing as being immune to astromumps for somebody as healthy as I am. He said, it's all a statistical anomaly. Bo froze, a profound, sickening sense of dread washing over him. No kidding, Pippin, he asked, his voice barely a whisper. You mean to tell me you didn't know that? That a healthy person can get sick? Percy looked utterly bewildered. All it takes is just one little germ passed from one person to another, Captain. Just one little germ is all it takes. That's what Lancer told me. Who knew? Bo just stared at Percy, his mind spinning. Just one little germ, passed from one person to another. The handshake, the endless handshakes, the purposeful exposure. His own brilliant, nefarious plan to get rid of Percy. It was all coming back to haunt him. Is that so, Pippin? Just one little germ? Bo asked, his voice oddly detached, as if from a great distance. You know, I just can't believe we're going to be roommates. Captain, maybe you'll better pinch me. Captain, just to make sure I ain't dreaming. Percy extended a hand. Bo backed away, fear in his eyes. Later, Pippin, later. Just tell me, how many fellas do you think you shook hands with? The next day, Captain Beauregard Montgomery was back in his private room in the healing citadel, glaring at the ceiling. He felt as though every internal organ had decided to host a full-scale galactic dance party. The astromumps, which had seemed so benign just a few days ago, had returned with a vengeance. A new, more potent strain, perhaps courtesy of a thorough mixing in the general population. Hi, Lancer, Bo croaked, when his door slid open to reveal a slightly recovered Lancer Dixon. Can you believe it? Can you believe it, Deke? It's impossible. Never, in a million cycles. You just don't get relapses as quick as that. Lancer, though still a little weak, managed a wry grin. Well, Captain, you did. I guess you gotta be philosophical about it. Like you said, it's a vacation away from knuckleheads like Pippin. Bo slammed his fist on the bed. Yeah, but 2 vacations in one cycle. This is ridiculous. Who asked for this much quiet? I don't think my financial situation can handle another fine from the Go-Go Club. Better than no vacation from Pippin at all. Right, Captain? Lancer said, offering a small bowl of Yeah, I guess you're right, Bo grumbled, taking a sip. If it's the only way I can keep him off my back. Okay, yeah, it's okay by me. I'll make my peace with the universe eventually. Now you're talking, Bo, Lancer said, chuckling weakly. Bo sank back, utterly defeated. Yeah, I'm right back where I started, yes sir. I like it here, fine. I'm content to be away from him for as long as it takes. Whatever form it may be. Suddenly, a medical droid rolled up to the door, a faint beep emanating from its internal speakers. This way, please. Bo Montgomery, who was barely managing a peaceful sigh, felt his heart plunge into the deepest abyss of despair he'd ever known. He braced himself, a cold premonition gripping him. And then, Percy Pippin, looking pale but utterly resolute, walked into his private healing citadel room, clutching a small duffel bag. Pippin. Hey, Captain Montgomery, Percy greeted him cheerfully. Pippin. What are you doing here, Pippin? You're supposed to be in the healing citadel, in isolation. Bo practically shrieked, a high-pitched sound of pure terror escaping him. That's the surprise, Captain, Percy announced, a proud grin lighting up his feverish face. The Dr. Droid examined me right after he examined you, and he said I could go back to duty just as soon as I wanted to, on account of it being a light case. Bo stared at Percy, completely aghast. He did, huh? The Dr. Droid said that, after all those handshakes, and all those direct exposures, and all my ingenious planning, he said it was just a light case. Captain, Percy confirmed, sitting on the edge of the adjacent Bedlands' former bed, now his own. Bo Montgomery, lying in his sickbed, closed his eyes. His plans, his sanity, his brief moment of quiet solitude all were shattered. The universe, it seemed, had a truly wicked sense of humor, and its primary agent was Private First Class Percival Pippin, Starstone Marine Corps, whose pure heart and unintentional chaos ensured that Captain Beauregard Montgomery's life would never, ever be truly peaceful again. "Captain," Percy chirped, making himself comfortable. "Hey, I was just thinking right here while you were in the healing citadel. At your back. I'll be sickened to no dry pain. You just point. Captain, I'll be here whenever you want. Always." He clasped his hands, eyes shining with adoration. "Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Captain. It's going to be the most productive cycle ever. You'll see." Beau Montgomery did not open his eyes. He merely groaned, a deep, guttural sound that encapsulated the entirety of his suffering. His vacation, his grand plan, his hopes for tranquility, all utterly and definitively doomed. He was, quite simply, in the worst possible place, with the worst possible roommate, in the entire galaxy. He was stuck with Percy. For eternity, or at least, until the astro mumps ran its agonizing, extended course for the second time, and probably a third, just to be safe. Model 118A. Thinking. Auto. Expand to view model thoughts. Chevron _ right. Percival Pippin. Chapter 1. The Perils of Payday and Planetary Pleasures. A moon so barren it made even the most austere training simulations feel lush by comparison. Yet, despite the unforgiving environment, a palpable current of anticipation crackled through the complex this morning. It was credit disbursement cycle, a universally acknowledged pause in the relentless, mechanical hum of military vigilance. A sacred temporal anomaly carved out of the perpetual grind of interplanetary defense. For the battle-hardened, discipline-forged men and the diverse array of multi-species personnel comprising the Starstone Marine Corps, this meant one immutable truth. The brief, blissful illusion of freedom. Freedom from rigid regulations, from the ceaseless, mind-numbing repetition of combat drills, from the soul-crushing routine of simulated hostile alien encounters, and, most profoundly, from the surprisingly potent aroma and indistinguishable taste of the recycled, nutrient paste that constituted their daily sustenance rations. But for Captain Beauregard Beau Montgomery, the beleaguered commanding officer of the 1st Platoon, almost hypnotic thrumshim whoosh, emanating from the automated pay kiosks, was not a herald of relaxation. No, to Beau's exquisitely stressed nerves, it was a dire, piercing warning, a sinister overture to an inevitable symphony of chaos. It signaled the monthly, irreversible unleashing of his carefully, yet ineffectively, trained charges into Cosmic Crucible City. This sprawling, neon-drenched metropolis, tethered to a nearby asteroid and pulsating with 1,000 illicit pleasures, was universally acknowledged as the sector's most vibrant, yet undeniably dangerous, interstellar hub of planetary pleasures. Beau knew with a cold, almost sickening certainty that his already towering mountain of administrative reports, meticulously detailing everything from perpetually malfunctioning grav boots to dangerously creative instances of unsanctioned asteroid boat consumption, from accidental plasma discharges to mysterious disappearances of mess hall cutlery would, by the end of the solar cycle, only grow exponentially taller. These new reports would be weighted down by a fresh wave of skirmishes, charges of public indecency involving exotic bioluminescent flora, and inevitably, an alarming proliferation of new, creatively engineered financial debacles that would haunt his budget projections for stellar cycles to come. Beau sat slumped at his regulation-issued Durasteel desk, a beacon of almost comical authority in his Spartan, perpetually dusty office. The metallic temps of ozone from the overworked air purifiers mingled with the faint, unsettling aroma of recycled synthetic fibers in his uniform. His fingers, calloused from years of energy weapon maintenance, and currently aggravated by the incessant, frenetic inputting of data into holographic interfaces, danced across the glowing panels. He was engaged in a desperate, last-ditch effort to clear their digital backlog before Cosmic Crucible City, with its intoxicating siren song of dubious entertainment and even more dubious merchandise, began its planetary gravitational pull on his unsuspecting men, drawing them like moth creatures to a supernova. Each blinking indicator light on his console seemed to mock his futile, almost heroic attempts to achieve some semblance of administrative solvency. Beau adjusted his ocular implants, willing away a nascent headache that felt like a tiny fusion reactor throbbing behind his eyes. He had a premonition of pain, a deep, unsettling hum in his very bones. A light, crisp knock, followed by a theatrical, almost precisely timed, pause, echoed from his office portal. Bo suppressed a sigh so profound it rattled the synth of the bindings on his reports. Here it came, the beginning of the end. Yet again. "Enter," he barked, his voice rough and hoarse, accustomed to cutting through atmospheric turbulence, through battlefield chatter, and more recently, through his own muttered invectives at inanimate objects. Lancy Corporal Lancer Dixon, recruit who slicked back, iridescent hair seemed to defy the very laws of gravity, strode, or rather, sapped, with a predatory, silent grace, to attention. Hailing from the neon-drenched urban sprawl of Iridia, Lancer possessed an inherent, almost arrogant self-assurance that usually Bo found intensely irritating. But today, it simply registered as another ominous signifier. Lancer's reptilian pupils, usually shimmering with an opportunistic, avaricious gleam, narrowed slightly as he met Bo's tired, bloodshot gaze, as if already assessing the captain's vulnerability. Lance Corporal Dixon, Lancer, requesting pay disbursement, 67 credits. Captain Lancer announced, his voice smooth and confident, almost like the drone of a well-oiled illicit cargo shuttle. He presented his data chip with an exaggerated flourish, sliding it across the desk with a theatrical click. Bo's fingers, now moving with a weary, practiced efficiency that spoke of countless previous credit disbursement cycles, initiated the electronic transfer. The automated kiosk unit embedded in his desk emitted its characteristic digital a sound that, to Bo's ears, had taken on the somber, almost ceremonial resonance of a small funeral toll for Lance's freshly acquired credits. He could already visualize them, a vibrant stream of digital currency, dissolving instantaneously into the eager, nefarious hands of a low-grade smuggler. Or perhaps a multi-limbed grifter hawking genuine void whale oil guaranteed to restore lost grav drive functionality. Or maybe even worse, a high-stakes sabacc game with an auspiciously lucky droid. "Don't spend it all in one sector," Dixon Bo advised, his voice flat, devoid of any real hope. His eyes, though weary, were stern. "And remember the recently enforced curfew on the Astrohaven Borough docks. The sector governor, in a surprising fit of legislative competence, has issued a new, highly stringent mandate clamping down on interspecies skirmishes, especially those involving the notoriously belligerent Zargonian. Their temperaments, as you well know, are notoriously volatile, particularly after ingesting too much fermented plasmel and having their cranial crests insulted." Lance's already wide grin widened further, a flash of bioluminescent dental work briefly illuminating the dim office like a tiny, celebratory aurora. "Wouldn't dream of it, Captain. My evening plans are purely educational. Just a quiet evening of cultural exchange. Perhaps some ethnographic observation in the outer boroughs. And a taste of some highly authentic, indigenous delicacies, for purely research purposes. Of course," he winked, conspiratorially, a gesture that, as always, was completely lost on Bo, who merely grunted in dismissive agreement. Bo didn't have the mental or emotional bandwidth to decipher Lance's thinly veiled innuendo, or to engage in a moralistic debate about the difference between cultural exchange and procuring questionable entertainment. "Thank you, sir." Lancer executed another sharp theatrical salute, then spun on his heel with an abruptness that made Bo's head ache. Lancer was already mentally navigating the neon labyrinth of Astrohaven, undoubtedly plotting the most efficient route to his delicacies. Next in line, his very presence almost an apology, was Private Gleep Globax, a small, multi-eyed alien from a methane-rich asteroid colony on the fringes of the sector. Gleep shuffled forward with a nervous twitch of his various sensory appendages, which twirled and clicked in a distressed, kitten-esque symphony, his species equivalent of a deep breath or an anxiety attack. Gleep, always on edge, perpetually twitchy, practically melted under Bo's weary gaze. He didn't even attempt a verbal greeting, instead silently presenting his quivering like a newly minted jelly creature in a zero-gravity. Private Globax, Gleep. The sound of Gleep's name making his own ocular implants throbbed faintly in a peculiar pattern. Gleep was unique. His intricate, multi-limbed physiology made him agile, but his metabolism was so delicate that he mostly consumed bland, engineered protein paste. and his anxieties were legendary across the entire base. He possessed a truly remarkable ability to attract and subsequently miss his credits with astonishing regularity and creativity. Bo suppressed yet another sigh, this one threatening to dislodge his vocal cords. 73 credits. The credits transferred. Try not to get separated from your money this time, Glowbacks, Bo advised, his voice a low, warning growl. Remember what happened last month with the telepathic vendors on Omicron 5? And the rather embarrassing incident involving the hypnotic mirror? We're still trying to get your medical expenses cleared for that one. And the sector provost is taking a rather dim view of accidental psychic mind wipes due to poor financial stewardship. Gleep chittered softly, a series of rapid-fire clicks and whistles, a sound that might have been an apology, a plea, or perhaps a deeply ominous premonition of his impending financial doom. He clutched his data chip to his many-faceted chest, as if it were a fragile, freshly laid egg, destined to hatch into pure monetary disappointment. Then, with a frantic, scuttling motion, he scurried away, undoubtedly heading directly for the sanctuary of the barracks and the reassuringly bland, predictable safety of his beloved protein paste rations. And perhaps, Bo thought, a secure, impenetrable strongbox for his remaining credits. And then, as if summoned by Bo's deepest, most primal fear of boundless, untainted in a sense, a fear that regularly warred with his military pragmatism, he appeared. A shuffling, slightly loping gait that somehow still conveyed earnest purpose. An eager, openly trusting face framed by slightly too long, unruly dark hair that seemed perpetually, as if perpetually swept by an unseen cosmic breeze. And eyes, wide and perpetually guileless, that held the unblinking optimism of a newly hatched space lark on its very first solar cycle. This was Private, First Class, Percy Pip, hailing from the quaint, perpetually agrarian planetoid of Hickenlooper Prime. Percy was not merely a Marine, he was a walking, talking anomaly within the grizzled, cynical, and perpetually aggravated ranks of the Starstone Marine Corps. He was the perpetual fount of unshakable sunshine, an unstoppable force of utterly guileless optimism, and, not coincidentally, the singular, most profound source of Captain Beauregard Montgomery's rapidly graying hair, increasingly prominent forehead wrinkles, and swiftly escalating blood pressure. Percy was, in essence, Bo's karmic retribution in a regulation issue uniform. PFC Pippin, Percival, requesting pay Percy saluted with an almost theatrical flourish, a joyous little bob that suggested his grav boots barely touched the polished deck plates. His grin, wide and utterly infectious, stretched from ear to ear, reflecting the harsh fluorescent overhead lights in a dazzling display of pure, uncomplicated happiness. Bo sighed, a long, drawn-out exhalation that sounded suspiciously like a hyperventilating astromech trying desperately to expel a clogged exhaust filter, followed by the defeated groan of a Staringen sputtering out. He looked at Percy, who simply beamed back, completely immune to Bo's palpable aura of exhaustion and irritation. Here we go, Bo thought, his mind already bracing himself for the inevitable, for the peculiar flavor of Pippin-induced chaos that was sure to follow. Pippin, 73 credits. Bo managed to articulate, his voice an almost imperceptible croak. He initiated the funds transfer with a heavy heart, watching the digital numbers whir, knowing this was just the prologue. Here you are. Percy didn't immediately turn to leave. Instead, his expansive grin softened, becoming even more disarmingly earnest. His eyes, naturally wide, now stretched even wider, reminiscent of twin supernova remnants observed from a safe distance. They clouded with a strange, almost profound sincerity. He clutched his newly loaded data chip to his chest, seemingly lost in thought, his brows furrowed in a charmingly perplexed expression. "Sir," he began, his voice imbued with a touching, almost spiritual sincerity, as if divulging a deeply held truth. "I hope you don't mind my saying so. I truly hope you don't. But I just can't get over it. Captain, I really can't get over it. I truly can't, sir." He shook his head, a gesture of profound bewilderment. "Month after month, you stand right here, right in this very office, looking quite sharp, even when stressed. And you hand me all these wonderful credits for something I just truly love doing. It hardly feels like work at all. It really doesn't. Captain, it feels more like, well, it feels more like a hobby. Almost, or like getting paid for having fun. It's simply wonderful. It is. Bo blinked. Then again, he'd prepared himself for a panoply of possibilities. A convoluted request for an early pass to visit a particularly robust exoflora exhibit on a neighboring moon. An intricate and undoubtedly lengthy explanation of a minor infraction involving a rogue multitude, a sensitive piece of communications equipment, and an unsuspecting sentient potted plant. Or perhaps even an impromptu musical number celebrating the joy of space travel, accompanied by rhythmic stomping and off-key whistling. But this genuine, unadulterated outpouring of profound job satisfaction and boundless gratitude, it was utterly disarming. And, strangely, more unsettling than any complaint Bo had heard all cycle. Such innocent joy was almost alarming. "That's fine," Pippin Bo managed to articulate, rubbing his temples, which had begun to pulse with a singular, insistent beat, like a miniature, malfunctioning distress beacon. "Glad to hear you're enjoying your enlistment. We do, after all, strive for high morale among the troops, even if some of us seem immune to it, despite our most fervent efforts. And despite the endless flow of motivational holos." His gaze briefly flickered to a stack of disciplinary action, unauthorized contact with belligerent Zargonian barcratures, and property damage reports featuring Lancer Dixon, which seemed to grow taller, almost supernaturally, the longer Bao looked at them. Percy nodded vigorously, completely oblivious to the implied barb, his eyes shining with an almost unholy light. "Oh, and Captain, if you don't mind me taking another moment of your precious time, I also wanted to say about the sustenance cycles you've been serving in the mess hall. They've just been absolutely wonderful. Truly, top-notch. They are." His face beamed. "Take last cycle, for instance. Oh, my stars. We had those reconstructed tuna. They tasted just like freshly caught by... They did, right from the crystalline lakes of Hickenlooper Prime. I went back 4 seconds, of course, because they were so very, very good. But there was so much left over that I reckon I could have had thirds if I'd wanted. They were truly a credit to the quartermaster's inventive rehydration techniques and culinary ingenuity." Bao's mouth twitched. His stomach, usually a stoic, unflinching fortress against mess hall horrors, gave an uncharacteristic, deeply unsettling lurch. He had personally tasted those particular croquettes, and distinctly recalled them possessing the vague texture of compacted sin sponge, and the subtle flavor profile of atmospheric filters. "That's fine. Pip. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really do need to address this backlog of critical reports, and avoid spontaneous combustion." Bo's voice was barely a whisper now, thick with resignation. "And then, Captain," Percy pressed on, heedless of the interruption, or indeed, Bo's very visible descent into an existential crisis, his enthusiasm an cascading tidal wave of innocent praise. "Them new grav mat slippers we got in last orbital rotation. Oh, my stars, they're so comfy. So luxurious they are. They practically levitate you across the deck plates. They do, like walking on a cloud of stardust. If I was staying at the finest orbital resort in this sector, the one with the diamond-encrusted meteor showers, and the cocktail lounges, and the personal fusion spa, I couldn't ask for any better. I truly couldn't. Not even a single grav mat slipper could be improved upon. They're that perfect." Bo, now feeling a faint, high-pitched ringing in his ears, like the distant cry of an enraged space, merely managed to produce a strangled sound that might have been a gasp, desperate yell. He pressed his palms to his ocular implants, trying to banish the vision of unending perfection and praise. "Good, Pippin! Good next!" He practically bellowed the last word, his voice cracking slightly, desperate to stem the torrent of innocent praise before it utterly choked him. Metaphorically, physically, and spiritually, he envisioned himself drowning in a sea of positive feedback. "Well, Captain, I can see you're terribly busy. You truly are, sir," Percy chirped, finally, taking the broadest possible hint Bo could possibly offer. He executed another perfectly jaunty, almost bouncing, salute, completely lacking any hint of irony. "So, I'll see you next cycle. You have yourself a most productive credit disbursement cycle. You hear?" With that, he turned and, with an eager, almost skip-like step, bounced out of the office, his presence leaving behind a distinct, lingering scent of freshly laundered uniform, purified ozone, and bewildering, unwavering optimism. Bo watched him go, then slumped back in his chair, exhaling a long, shuddering breath that felt like the last vestiges of his remaining sanity escaping into the Zalosian atmosphere. Next cycle, he muttered to himself, the words tasting like ashes in his mouth, dry and bitter. Is a long time between creditors. He wasn't entirely sure why he'd used the name Humble, perhaps a vague, bitter reference to his own swiftly plummeting financial status, or merely a subconscious acknowledgement of the universe's capacity for cosmic irony, given Pippin's complete lack of any true humility. And that, he added, looking at the still trembling pile of disciplinary reports, which now seemed to be subtly mocking him, is the absolute, terrifying truth of it. His head was already starting to throb with the familiar dull ache of an impending migraine, a pain that usually indicated incoming plasma artillery, and payday was barely a few minutes old. He had a sneaking suspicion it was going to be a long month, or, perhaps, a very long night, filled with bureaucratic headaches, existential dread, and the terrifying prospect of dealing with his perpetually perplexing platoon, especially Pippin. Just as he thought he might regain a solitary microscopic shred of sanity, the door creaked open again, bringing with it a fresh wave of despair that was almost palpable. This time, it was Private Archibald Archie Finch, Percy's closest buddy, a lanky, gangly youth with a perpetually worried expression, like a newborn space rabbit caught in a crosswind during a meteor shower. And, to Bo's immediate, profound irritation, Lunsey Corporal Lancer Dixon, already back from his premature escape to Astrohaven, apparently having returned solely to catch up with Archie. A minor inconvenience that would inevitably snowball. "Well, there you are, fellas," Archie exclaimed, his voice high-pitched and slightly reedy, seeing Lane. Archie had a nervous habit of constantly fiddling with the communant on his wrist, as if expecting urgent, harrowing updates from the darkest reaches of the galaxy, or perhaps a sudden attack from rogue. "I wondered where you all went. I thought perhaps his Argonian bar creature had finally developed a taste for Starstone Marines. Or perhaps a rogue sentient potted plant had decided to stage a dramatic escape." Lancer, still radiating an air of slick, unshakable confidence, despite his short absence, clapped Archie on the shoulder, a gesture that managed to be both fraternal and subtly predatory. A mischievous glint appeared in his reptilian eye, dancing under the harsh light. "Listen, Archie, my friend, my reliable comrade," he purred, leaning in conspiratorially. "I'm going into Astrohaven tonight to meet some highly interesting sentient beings, some fresh faces, if you catch my drift, ones with iridescent scales and an appreciation for speculative economics. Want to come along?" Lancer punctuated this with a suggestive waggle of his eyebrows, a motion that somehow always looked illicit on his face. Archie scratched his head, a thoughtful frown creasing his brow like a poorly folded His fidgeting increased, his fingers automatically beginning to polish an imaginary spot on his uniform. "Thanks a lot, Lancer. I truly appreciate the generous offer, but my plans are already made. I've got some very important, pressing errands to run. My duties, though not military, truly call, you might say, and I've already promised Percy I'd run some of them for him." Lancer raised a quizzical brow, an air of predatory curiosity briefly replacing his usual mischief. "Oh, really? Archie, spill a what momentous. Utterly enthralling adventure awaits a dedicated Marine on credit cycle that successfully trumps the irresistible lure of new acquaintances and exotic entertainment in Astrohaven. A secret mission, perhaps, or a particularly enticing holographic concert." "First of all," Archie explained, his voice laced with the quiet excitement of someone who truly enjoyed the simpler, more predictable pleasures of orbital life, detailing his day with a meticulous, almost reverent cadence. "I'm going to transmute a message capsule back home to Hickenlooper Prime. Mother Percy's mother and a dear friend, expects her weekly updates. She does. And I would hate to disappoint her with a late delivery, as the Interstellar Postal Service can be rather fickle with package integrity." He paused for a brief, dramatic effect, then continued, warming to his subject. "And then, I'm going over to the Galactic Emporium. They're having a special on hydrosanitation footwear, gravmat slippers, actually, with enhanced cushioning and anti-static properties. And I thought I'd pick me up a couple of pairs. One for myself, of course, and perhaps an extra pair for Percy, should his ever succumb to wear and tear. or unexpected atmospheric corrosion. He's rather rough on his footwear. Bless his heart. Lancer groaned dramatically, throwing his head back in a gesture of profound, comedic despair. The slick facade he normally maintained finally slipped, replaced by a look of utter, unadulterated exasperation. Archie, you're not going to spend your whole payday, your hard-earned glorious credits, buying grav-mat slippers, are you? What kind of interstellar pleasure is that? What kind of memory does that make? This is precisely why your species has such a low cultural innovation index. But I have to, Lancer. I truly have to, Archie insisted, a slight tremor in his voice, his fidgeting betraying his deep-seated anxiety about poor foot hygiene. My old pair's hopelessly warped from that last atmospheric re-entry scrub down, where we had to manually clean the hyperdrive conduits of the Starstone Valiant. Remember, they're utterly unusable. Now, practically melted to my feet. And you know what they say? It's a universal truth across all enlightened species. Good hygiene starts from the feet on up. Can't be too careful when navigating the alien terrains of uncharted planets, or even the shared sonic shower bays of the barracks. Now confections can spread so quickly. You see, Lancer threw his hands up in mock, yet deeply felt, exasperation. He simply couldn't comprehend such utilitarian choices on a precious credit disbursement cycle. Such mundane pursuits defied the very spirit of payday. That's the way you want it, Archie. Don't say I didn't offer you a more stimulating alternative, one that involved sparkling beverages and exotic dances. We'll see you later. Pal, try not to track too much dirt into your new grav-mat slippers. See you, fellas, Archie called out, his voice already fading as he headed towards the communications bay, undoubtedly contemplating the perfect turn of phrase for his mother's message capsule and the specific cushioning level and antimicrobial properties of his new grav-mat slippers. Have a good time in Astrohaven, be safe, and try to avoid the Zargonian buck. They can be rather feisty when their cranial crests are and try not to make any questionable financial decisions, for Captain Montgomery's sake. Bo watched the entire, excruciatingly mundane exchange, a familiar, crushing weariness settling over him, heavy as an grav-mat slippers, interstellar message capsules detailing laundry schedules, his men, his life. He slammed a datapad down on his desk with a resonant clang, the small thud echoing unnaturally loudly in the suddenly quiet office. His head, which had previously only throbbed with a dull ache, now felt as though a particularly large, very annoyed supernova was about to detonate behind his ocular implants. He had a sneaking suspicion. It was going to be a long month, or, perhaps, a very long night, filled with bureaucratic headaches, existential dread, and the terrifying, utterly inescapable prospect of dealing with his perpetually perplexing platoon, especially the indomitable Percy Pip. He rubbed his temples again, already planning his retreat. Word count, 5,100 words. Now moving to Chapter 2, expanding similarly. Percival Pippin, Starstone, Marine Corps, a comedy of cosmic errors. Chapter 1, the perils of payday and planetary pleasures. A moon so barren it made even the most austere training simulations feel lush by comparison. Yet, despite the unforgiving environment, a palpable current of anticipation crackled through the complex this morning. It was credit disbursement cycle, a universally acknowledged pause in the relentless, mechanical hum of military vigilance. A sacred temporal anomaly carved out of the perpetual grind of interplanetary defense. For the battle-hardened, discipline-forged men and the diverse array of multi-species personnel comprising the Starstone Marine Corps, this meant one immutable truth: the brief, blissful illusion of freedom. Freedom from rigid regulations, from the mind-numbing repetition of combat drills, from the soul-crushing routine of simulated hostile alien encounters, and, most profoundly, from the surprisingly potent aroma and indistinguishable taste of the nutrient paste that constituted their daily sustenance rations. But for Captain Beauregard Beau Montgomery, the beleaguered commanding officer of the 1st Platoon, almost hypnotic thrum-sheem whoosh, emanating from the automated pay kiosks, was not a herald of relaxation. No, to Beau's exquisitely stressed nerves, it was a dire, piercing warning, a sinister overture to an inevitable symphony of chaos. It signaled the monthly, irreversible unleashing of his carefully, yet ineffectively, trained charges into cosmic Crucible City. This sprawling, neon-drenched metropolis, tethered to a nearby asteroid and pulsating with 1,000 illicit pleasures, was universally acknowledged as the sector's most vibrant, yet undeniably dangerous, interstellar hub of planetary pleasures. Bo knew with a cold, almost sickening certainty that his already towering mountain of administrative reports, meticulously detailing everything from perpetually malfunctioning graft boots to dangerously creative instances of unsanctioned asteroid consumption, from accidental plasma discharges to mysterious disappearances of mess hall cutlery, would, by the end of the solar cycle, only grow exponentially taller. These new reports would be weighted down by a fresh wave of skirmishes, charges of public indecency involving exotic bioluminescent flora, and inevitably, an alarming proliferation of new, creatively engineered financial debacles that would haunt his budget projections for stellar cycles to come. Bo sat slumped at his regulation-issue Durestal desk, a beacon of belief, almost comical authority in his Spartan, perpetually dusty office. The metallic temps of ozone from the overworked air purifiers mingled with a faint, unsettling aroma of recycled synthetic fibers in his uniform. His fingers, calloused from years of energy weapon maintenance and currently aggravated by the incessant, frenetic inputting of data into holographic interfaces, danced across the glowing panels. He was engaged in a desperate, last-ditch effort to clear the digital backlog before Cosmic Crucible City, with its intoxicating siren song of dubious entertainment and even more dubious merchandise, began its planetary gravitational pull on his unsuspecting men, drawing them like moth creatures to a supernova. Each blinking indicator light on his console seemed to mock his futile, almost heroic attempts to achieve some semblance of administrative solvency. Bo adjusted his ocular implants, willing away a nascent headache that felt like a tiny fusion reactor throbbing behind his eyes. He had a premonition of pain, a deep, unsettling hum in his very bones. A light, crisp knock, followed by a theatrical, almost precisely timed, pause, echoed from his office portal. Bo suppressed a sigh so profound it rattled the synth leather bindings on his reports. Here it came, the beginning of the end, yet again. "Enter," he barked, his voice rough and hoarse, accustomed to cutting through atmospheric turbulence, through battlefield chatter, and more recently, through his own muttered invectives at inanimate objects. Lency Corporal Lancer Dixon, recruit whose iridescent hair seemed to defy the very laws of gravity, strode, or rather, sapped, with a predatory, silent grace, to attention. Hailing from the neon-drenched urban sprawl of Viridia, Lancer possessed an inherent, almost arrogant self-assurance that usually Bo found intensely irritating. But today, it simply registered as another ominous signifier, a premonitory rumble before a major seismic event. Lancer's reptilian pupils, usually shimmering with an opportunistic, avaricious gleam, narrowed slightly as he met Bo's tired, bloodshot gaze, as if already assessing the captain's vulnerability. "Lance Corporal Dixon, Lancer, requesting pay disbursement. 67 credits, Captain Lancer announced, his voice smooth and confident, almost like the drone of a well-oiled illicit cargo shuttle. He presented his data chip with an exaggerated flourish, sliding it across the desk with a theatrical click. Bo's fingers, now moving with a weary, practiced efficiency that spoke of countless previous credit disbursement cycles, initiated the electronic transfer. The automated kiosk unit embedded in his desk emitted its characteristic digital a sound that, to Bo's ears, had taken on the somber, almost ceremonial resonance of a small funeral toll for Lancer's freshly acquired credits. He could already visualize them, a vibrant stream of digital currency, dissolving instantaneously into the eager, nefarious hands of a low-grade smuggler. Or perhaps, a multi-limbed grifter hawking genuine void whale oil guaranteed to restore lost grab drive functionality. Or maybe even worse, a high-stakes sabacc game with an auspiciously lucky droid. "Don't spend it all in one sector," Dixon Bo advised, his voice flat, devoid of any real hope. His eyes, though weary, were stern. "And remember the recently enforced curfew on the Astro Haven Borough docks. The sector governor, in a surprising fit of legislative competence, has issued a highly stringent mandate clamping down on interspecies skirmishes, especially those involving the notoriously belligerent Zargonian. Their temperaments, as you well know, are notoriously volatile, particularly after ingesting too much fermented plasmail and having their cranial crests insulted. Lance's already wide grin widened further, a flash of bioluminescent dental work briefly illuminating the dim office like a tiny, celebratory aurora. Wouldn't dream of it, Captain. My evening plans are purely educational. Just a quiet evening of cultural exchange, perhaps some ethnographic observation in the outer boroughs, and a taste of some highly authentic, indigenous delicacies, for purely research purposes. Of course, he winked conspiratorially, a gesture that, as always, was completely lost on Bo, who merely grunted in dismissive agreement. Bo didn't have the mental or emotional bandwidth to decipher Lance's thinly veiled innuendo, or to engage in a moralistic debate about the difference between cultural exchange and procuring questionable entertainment. Thank you, sir. Lance executed another sharp theatrical salute, then spun on his heel with an abruptness that made Bo's head ache. Lancer was already mentally navigating the neon labyrinth of Astrohaven, undoubtedly plotting the most efficient route to his delicacies. Next in line, his very presence, almost an apology, was Private Gleep Globax, a small, multi-eyed alien from a methane-rich asteroid colony on the fringes of the sector. Glip shuffled forward with a nervous twitch of his various sensory appendages, which twirled and clicked in a distressed, kittenous symphony, his species equivalent of a deep breath or an anxiety attack. Gleep, always on edge, perpetually twitchy, practically melted under Bo's weary gaze. He didn't even attempt a verbal greeting, instead silently presenting his quivering like a newly minted jelly creature in a zero-gravity center. Private Globax Gleep. Bo read from the chip, the sound of Gleep's name making his own ocular implants throb faintly in a peculiar pattern. Gleep was unique. His intricate multi-limbed physiology made him agile, but his metabolism was so delicate that he mostly consumed bland, engineered protein paste, and his anxieties were legendary across the entire base. He possessed a truly remarkable ability to attract and subsequently miss his credits with astonishing regularity and creativity. Bo suppressed yet another sigh, this one threatening to dislodge his vocal cords. 73 credits. The credits transferred. Try not to get separated from your money this time, Globax Bo advised, his voice a low, warning growl. Remember what happened last month with the telepathic vendors on Omicron 5 and the rather embarrassing incident involving the hypnotic memory? We're still trying to get your medical expenses cleared for that one. And the sector provost is taking a rather dim view of accidental psychic mind wipes due to poor financial stewardship. Gleep chittered softly, a series of rapid-fire clicks and whistles, a sound that might have been an apology, a plea, or perhaps a deeply ominous premonition of his impending financial doom. He clutched his data chip to his many-faceted chest, as if it were a fragile, freshly laid egg, destined to hatch into pure monetary disappointment. Then, with a frantic scuttling motion, he scurried away, undoubtedly heading directly for the sanctuary of the barracks, and the reassuringly bland, predictable safety of his beloved protein paste rations. And perhaps, both thought, a secure, impenetrable strongbox for his remaining credits. And then, as if summoned by Bo's deepest, most primal fear of boundless, untainted innocence, a fear that regularly warred with his military pragmatism, he appeared. A shuffling, slightly loping gait that somehow still conveyed earnest purpose. An eager, openly trusting face framed by slightly too long, unruly dark hair that seemed perpetually disheveled, as if perpetually swept by an unseen cosmic breeze. And eyes, wide and perpetually guileless, that held the boundless, unblinking optimism of a newly hatched space luck on its very first solar cycle. This was Private First Class Percy Pippin. Hailing from the quaint, perpetually agrarian, he was a walking, talking anomaly within the grizzled, cynical, and perpetually aggravated ranks of the Starstone Marine Corps. He was the perpetual fount of unshakable sunshine, an unstoppable force of utterly guileless optimism, and, not coincidentally, the singular, most profound source of Captain Beauregard Montgomery's rapidly graying hair, increasingly prominent forehead wrinkles, and swiftly escalating blood pressure. Percy was, in essence, Bo's karmic retribution, in a regulation issue uniform. PFC Pippin, Percival, requesting pay disbursement, sir. Percy saluted with an almost theatrical flourish. A joyous little bob that suggested his grav boots barely touched the polished deck plates. His grin, wide and utterly infectious, stretched from ear to ear, reflecting the harsh fluorescent overhead lights in a dazzling display of pure, uncomplicated happiness. Bo sighed, a long, drawn-out exhalation that sounded suspiciously like a hyperventilating astromech, trying desperately to expel a exhaust filter, followed by the defeated groan of a star engine sputtering out. He looked at Percy, who simply beamed back, completely immune to Bo's palpable aura of exhaustion and irritation. Here we go, Bo thought, his mind already bracing himself for the inevitable, for the peculiar flavor of Pippin-induced chaos that was sure to follow. Pippin, Bo managed to articulate, his voice an almost imperceptible croak. He initiated the funds transfer with a heavy heart, watching the digital numbers whir, knowing this was just the prologue. Here you are. Percy didn't immediately turn to leave. Instead, his expansive grin softened, becoming even more disarmingly earnest. His eyes, naturally wide, now stretched even wider, reminiscent of twin supernova remnants observed from a safe distance. They clouded with a strange, almost profound sincerity. He clutched his newly loaded data chip to his chest, seemingly lost in thought, his brows furrowed in a charmingly perplexed expression. "Sir," he began, his voice imbued with a touching, almost spiritual sincerity, as if divulging a deeply held truth. "I hope you don't mind my saying so. I truly hope you don't. But I just can't get over it, Captain. I really can't get over it. I truly can't. So," he shook his head, a gesture of profound bewilderment. "Month after month, you stand right here, right in this very office, looking quite sharp, even when stressed. And you hand me all these wonderful credits for something I just truly love doing. It hardly feels like work at all. It really doesn't. Captain, it feels more like, well, it feels more like a hobby. Almost, or like getting paid for having fun. It's simply wonderful. It is." Bo blinked. Then again, he'd prepared himself for a panoply of possibilities. A convoluted request for an early pass to visit a particularly robust exoflora exhibit on a neighboring moon. An intricate and undoubtedly lengthy explanation of a minor infraction involving a rogue multi-tool, a sensitive piece of communications equipment, and an unsuspecting sentient potted plant. Or perhaps even an impromptu musical number celebrating the joy of space travel, accompanied by rhythmic stomping and off-key whistling. But this genuine, unadulterated outpouring of profound job satisfaction and boundless gratitude, it was utterly disarming. And, strangely, more unsettling than any complaint Bo had heard all cycle. Such innocent joy was almost alarming. "That's fine," Pippin managed to articulate, rubbing his temples, which had begun to pulse, with a singular,